Hi, how are you?
Well, hello. Hi
Hi.
there, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, sir.
Salutations, sir.
It should be the Summer Lees of the world, the Maxwell Frosts of the world, the Ayanna Presleys of the world. Those are the people that should be around here. They're still basing their ideology on baby boomers. That's what the fuck they're thinking about. Why? Because they still have baby boomers sitting in Congress when their asses need to be down the Shady Pines.
Damn, Shady Pine? Not
Shady
even
Pines,
good.
ma.
They mad.
They,
And that's why we have a DEI president now.
they've been
Unqualified
mad
ass.
for some time now, okay?
Unqualified ass. I think that is. If black people ain't woke, they need to be. Because I read the white book, getting away wasn't a chapter.
These are the people y'all put in place. But y'all want to talk about meritocracy, and you have this level of incompetence at the
They do
highest
have
levels
merit.
of government.
No one else can fuck up more than them. That is a skill. That is a talent. No one can be more incompetent than them.
Who the fuck knows who you are, Ken Martin? That's one. Two, I read through the fucking memorandum and wanted to claw my eyeballs out and pour cayenne pepper and Tabasco sauce into my bloody eye sockets, okay? Nobody's reading that shit. See, this is the problem. Who in the electorate, besides stupid ass political nerds like myself, are gonna see his bitch ass too? Now, maybe he done sniffed a few too many poppers while he done got his back blown out down to the New York City. Now, they done told me about that young man. He done went completely rogue too. Lay off the fucking poppers, Richie Torres. That shit is how you lose fucking brain cells.
That knockoff great value Cruella DeVille looking bitch. Her?
She has been a problem for a while.
You can't help these people. The only thing that's going to help people is pain. They are like the child you keep telling not to touch that damn stove. Let them touch it. Let them touch it. Pain is a great teacher and an even better motivator.
Well, hello, sir.
Hey, hey, hey. What's up? What's up?
How the hell are you?
You know, I'm back like we never left. How are you?
I'm well. We're on the big stage today. The 5 o'clock time slot.
I
They got us.
know this is the prime time slot.
This
I
is
don't I don't, I don't
prime
remember this today.
time. They got us on prime time slots here. I don't know. You think we're ready to handle all of this? I don't know, sir.
I
If
hope
I'm
so.
prepared.
I hope I can, live up to everyone's expectations.
Well, you, sir, are the show. The people come to see you, not me. I'm just gonna put that out there. You're the reason why everybody, comes to the yard. You sit the little milkshake out there, and then magically,
Oh, if only
people.
it really worked that way.
It brings not just the boys, but the boys and the girls
Only
to
when
the
I'm drunk.
yard.
Only when I'm drunk.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm glad to see you too, sir. We I know we missed last week,
Yes,
but mm,
I was at that dinner, getting drunk on the company dime. Yes,
yeah.
I
But
had.
anyway, thank y'all so much for being here with us. Welcome to Red, Blue, and Black, episode 32. We are not at our regular time. We are on the run your mouth time today and the main stage. And so we hope that you enjoy um what we have to offer today. We have some great topics, a lot of great commentary that we will get today. Hopefully neither one of us will spike out today. Let's do the
No,
best we
I'm
can.
not even gonna tell that lie. I'm going. I'm going left. Yeah,
let,
I'm going left.
let me say hey to y'all, and then and just so we're nice and polite. Hey, DPG, Jason, how the hell are you, sir? Candace F, it is good to see you. Tracy W is in the building. Uh, 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 hey, Simon. Tamara is always having her face in the place, always on time. Hey, Steph, what's going on, Twin Flames? It's good to see you, ma'am. Hey, Cajun. Um, hey, C Golden. What's up? What is up, Ravine? How are you? It's good to see you as well. Say Vaughn is in the building. We got Crazy Homebody Girl here. We got Kelly here. Everybody taking their seats. Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the video out. Hey, Miss E, share the video out. Hit the like button and so forth. Hey, Kawale. And for those of you all who may not normally catch us during our regular 8:30 p.m. Thursday night time slot, now you get to see what you've been missing. Hey, Montrez, what's good, bruh? Now you get to see what you've been missing, and maybe you'll be inclined next week to join us. Wait, I don't know if I'm gonna be available next week.
See,
We'll
here you
talk
go.
about
Here
next
you go
week.
with the
We'll
foolishness. Here you go.
we'll talk about next week.
Here you go. We're gonna discuss.
We'll discuss.
We'll discuss.
Uh, hey, half pin. But yes, so please let the algorithm do what it does. And y'all hit the like button, share the video out, all of that good stuff, and let it do what it do. All right. Uh, 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 uh. Sir, our overarching theme today is manufacturing compliance.
Is.
Two
Is.
words that should not go together.
Well, you know how these yet to be United States work. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you are a country built on chattel slavery,
mm,
subjugation of other human beings, and forcing people into subjection, then that pretty much equates to manufactured compliance.
so what you're saying is stealing, killing, and destroying. Mm, sounds familiar to me.
Mm, the good book says, a certain person comes but to steal, kill, and destroy.
I mean, I'm just saying there's some parallels. That's all I'm saying. But to your point, though, I think it's really important that when you talk about it from a psychological angle, compliance isn't just about passing those laws, or Congress doesn't really pass laws. I don't know what they do anymore, but it's it's like pervasive when you look at how they're attacking voting rights, how they're attacking economic stability through the big bullshit bill, or massive layoffs in the tech sector because of AI, or massive layoffs at the federal level. And then you're also attacking people's physical safety because you have ICE acting a damn fool all over the place with no accountability, with no oversight. You create what I like to call a bandwidth tax. And it's flooding the zone essentially. And the state is betting that if we fighting to keep our jobs, our livelihoods, all this other stuff, you have less energy for all these other fights, right? So I think it's really important that we got to be locked in. We got to prioritize because we only have so much energy, but we got to be locked in. And they bank on people being ignorant, which is why they continually underinvest in education.
I don't know that I could put it more eloquently. What I will say though is this manufacturing of compliance is for them They believe that they're in an existential threat to their survival, which is just simply them making sure they keep their supremacy. In their minds, it's an existential threat to survival. In actuality, it's them trying to hold on to their supremacy. That's essentially what it is. And to them, a loss of supremacy and their privilege is is essentially you obviating their entire existence. That's it. That's all.
And that's a really interesting statement that you made, because when we go back to the great replacement theory, right? Because being in the minority bothers them because they assume everyone else has the same mindset as they do. When in actuality, black folks just want to be left alone. But when you're in America, you'll never be alone because there's always going to be somebody in your business that's not black.
Well,
Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, please.
no, no,
I'm
no.
not above
I am
growth. If I'm
not
wrong, let me
arguing with
know.
you, sir. I am not arguing with you, sir. The problem is, the problem is when the numbers stop being in your favor. And that's what they're most afraid of. They're afraid of equality. Equality for them means that basically, if all things are equal, they know they fall short. So that's why this is an existential threat to them.
Also, when you're used to privilege, equality feels like oppression.
Yeah, well, then there's that.
Because really, all I'm really asking for is for everyone to be treated like black people have historically been treated. I think that's fair. If racism isn't an issue, Supreme Court, then everybody needs to be treated like black people.
Speaking of the Supreme Court, we'll get there in just a second. Before we get to our Supreme Court meltdown today, let's
Mm,
make sure, 'cause,
mm.
sir, I believe you may just have your first spike out on that. Hey, Demetria. Hey, everybody coming in. I think I saw Antonio and Tracy and Paul come in. Hey, everybody coming in. Um, Make sure y'all hitting the like button and sharing the video out because we is here. We here. But we have to give you your updates for today. Again, we are still at war. Yes. I never, at no point, I told y'all earlier that I ever believed that this war was over. Hey, Miss Kiki, and let's give you your update. Many of us have family, friends, loved ones involved in this war that are in harm's way because of this war. So that's why it is important to me that I do keep you updated every day on this war. Essentially, Benjamin Netanyahu said, "Fuck you and fuck your life." There is no ceasefire. If that ceasefire involves Lebanon, there is no ceasefire.
You talking about the U.S. President Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay.
The president of the United States, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just in case you wanted to know who he was. Um, the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
Again.
Closed. Netanyahu went on a live today, went and did a press brief and said there is no ceasefire in Lebanon, and we will keep striking Hezbollah as long as we want. Okay. Damn the talks that y'all had with Pakistan, and now we're learning that there were secret covert talks with China. We're learning that China was intimately involved in negotiations behind the scenes that did not want it coming out, but it's now coming out that China was intimately involved in a lot of the negotiations. They've really helped author a lot of the 10 points that um, that Iran came up with. All of this helps China because Iran and China have great their trading between and their alliances between Iran and China is huge. The hell, they have whole, even if they can't go by water, they have many railway passages between Iran and China.
I mean, ultimately, no matter the outcome, China wins
Pretty much.
because China is playing a longer term game than anyone else. They're not looking at the next quarter, the next fiscal year. China is looking at things through a 20 plus year horizon, and they're doing what they need to do to execute their long term geopolitical goals. We can't have any sort of consistency because we keep swinging from one extreme to the next. You went from a Joe Biden to this because of inflation, which happened globally. Like no incoming party is going to survive that, but unfortunately, when you don't understand how interconnected the global economy is because you're not educated on it, this is what you get. And now gas going to be high for everybody, and eggs still high. So what the hell are we talking about? And they just keep blowing up people in Lebanon, just blowing them up. 254 people gone. Ain't no ceasefire. I mean, we announced these ceasefires between Washington, Tel Aviv, and Tehran, and then y'all blow up Lebanon, and then simultaneously you have the U.S. accelerating its naval and aerial deployment to the region. So I mean, Iran has been right. Like every time we come to the negotiating table, y'all stab us in the back. The word is not worth anything. And to me, it's like it's a ceasefire paradox because it's like a masterclass in diplomatic compliance. But you keep the idea of a ceasefire in the headlines while you're still giving munitions to Israel. So that's the reality of it. And then you have the state managing the public outrage. So it's almost conditioning the public to believe that efforts are being made, like we're in talks, we're doing this, while the actual machinery behind the war is being accelerated.
What's so funny is, hey, Simera, the real idiots in all of this, let me tell you who the real idiots are. The real idiots are the people on Wall Street and the people who make gas prices, who set the price of oil and things like that. Because these people are moving the needle based on the whims of an egomaniacal, bloodthirsty imbecile who's failed at every business venture he has ever had. And now he has the largest business he has ever had control of and is determined to drive it into the ground. And so you do all of this posturing with this with Wall Street, with the gas and oil prices, based on the whims of a fucking idiot who cannot be trusted. And it's just this seesaw thing. And you look like, because at this point, how many times are you going to fall, Charlie Brown,
Lucy with
for
the
the
football.
football
I was just
receipt? You
thinking
know
that.
what I'm saying? How many
Football.
times is Lucy going to fool you?
Yeah.
Because when they announced the ceasefire, immediately you saw the markets, oil prices dropped, right? In the
Hmm.
West Texas Index, which is the one we typically use here in the U.S. Okay, WTI, West Texas Index. They're the ones who kind of set our oil prices or whatnot. So they immediately dropped it from like 100 and something. It was like 108 or 109 to like almost $80 because they learned of this ceasefire only to wake up yesterday morning, the next morning, and find out that there wasn't any ceasefires. And then this morning, they announced, fuck all of that. Y'all thought it was a ceasefire. You had that bitch Caroline talking about, oh, y'all had it wrong. Y'all, I don't know why y'all are putting out misinformation. The information y'all put out, the 10 points that was sent out by the White House
She's the worst
telling
critic.
us
She's
what
the worst.
framework was. And so now where oil prices at? Back over $100 a barrel. Like, you people look like, the point that I'm making is you look like fucking morons. Because if it's me, I'm not even thinking about lowering anything until I know that it's a credible ceasefire. And even if they opened up the Strait of Hormuz, they said it could take months before oil capacity of getting oil out gets back to normal.
To your point, to your point about this, I don't know if you've seen it, but American, airline companies are already canceling. I mean, this is global too, but it's impacting America. They are canceling summer flights, which are normally packed because the impact to aviation fuel prices. Oh, and by the way, all of them have announced baggage fee increases. You think that's in isolation? You think that happened in a vacuum?
And
No,
they're never going to go down.
they're not going to go down. Just like the price of these damn eggs didn't go down, but y'all was so concerned about egg prices. Your, your economic anxiety was through the roof. Now we don't care about shit. But then, even when you think about this war is costing us $1 billion a day. Let's be for real. So, when you look at it from the perspective of the zero sum game of federal resources, these billions that are being funded into this regional firestorm that could have easily been avoided by any competent administration, that means that you got to trim that money from somewhere else. Some got to get cut, right? So you use this national security emergency to manufacture this domestic compliance with what is essentially austerity. Because we saw I mean, you've seen his budget proposal. He's
Hmm.
trying to cut everything and give the Department of War 1.5 trillion additional dollars.
I have nothing for the. I
It ain't
literally.
no money for America first, but it ain't no money for you fucking Americans. There's no money for you. You pay your taxes and you'll get nothing and you'll like it because we finna continue to bomb these brown people overseas. For what? Who benefits? It's not us. We're going to get left behind. There's going to be a new global power structure and we're going to be left behind because these damn regressives are still trying to use foreign policy from the 1800s and the early 1900s. It
Let's be
doesn't work.
clear. This war is now turning Iran into a superpower, right in our faces. Because at this point, they absolutely have full, unfettered control of the Strait of Hormuz. Let's be clear. They're not going to give it up. And I know the UN Security Council, even though it did not pass, and it didn't pass because China and Russia said no, because they're absolutely not going to let it pass. But there was this resolution where they were saying that countries were going to come together and force the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. And because China and Russia were like, yeah, we don't want it, because China and Russia have the same status that the United States has, where when they say no, it's no. And they know they do. And so what did they do? They say, yeah, no, it's a no for me, dog. So again, Iran, complete control of the Strait of
20%
um
of the world's oil.
and
Yeah.
then what we also know, the Strait of the Baba Mandab Strait, right, which leads to the Suez Canal over in the Red Sea, is controlled by Iran as well because the Houthis control that, and the Houthis are part of the Iranian regime. Uh huh. And so they can close both of that shit down whenever they want to.
But
There's
you know what this
not a fuck
shows?
thing you can do about it.
We never learned from the energy crisis that we had. We never learned. We never learned from it.
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it's
Because
because,
honestly, the lesson that should have been learned was we need energy independence.
well, they're banking on. Here's what they're banking on. There is a little bit when they started doing more drilling. There was this attempt to have more energy independence for the U.S., but that does not help us in our economy. We don't manufacture anything. We don't produce a whole lot of anything that we consume. So what happens is, even with us not being as dependent as we were on foreign oil and using much more of our own, all of the people who we import from are dependent on that. So we need Iran regardless. Even if we say we get 100% of our oil from over here, right? The people who we import from get their oil from the Middle East.
But this is the issue that you have, and I talk about this frequently at work. Third party risk is the biggest risk for everybody because you can't outsource all this stuff. You have to do some things in house because now you have a single point of failure. The external party is your single point of failure, which has led to the urban decay that we have in the manufacturing belt because we've allowed the to go to garbage because we don't make anything. We produce nothing. We basically survive off of consumerism now. But when you have the average American in a K shaped economy, they're not going to be consuming. We're not thinking long term. But we also have an administration that, in my opinion, does not think because they oscillate between policy decisions. I don't get it. We ain't got no money. We just print it. So what do we do when gas is the $5 again? What do we do? I mean, just take it back to COVID. All these essential workers, we realized that they were critically underpaid. Like, what are we gonna do?
It's so interesting you bring that up, Cajun, because they've just announced that the steel that they're trying to use for his ballroom that's been deemed illegal. They were telling them, "Oh, we're going to use U.S. steel because we're trying to rebuild them." They covertly said, "Fuck that. We're going to use all foreign imported steel. Fuck you and your manufacturing." And then there's that.
It's gonna need to be a new amendment after this administration. At this point,
Um, but yeah, that's your war update. Um, we'll see. We'll keep you posted. But Benjamin Netanyahu is running this. We are not in control here. Uh,
I told you that's the U.S. president, Benjamin Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin. They run the U.S. He does everything everything because
As
they
we
flatter him. They flatter him, and he just falls for it. He's so stupid. Oh my god.
as we transition to our main story of the day, I do want to. There was some breaking news that broke as we were on. Africa Bombada did pass away today. I did see that. If you don't know who Africa Bombada is, those of us who grew up during 80s and 90s, he's a huge force um, in the rap industry, rap field, rapper, pioneer of hip hop and rap and everything. But African Bombada passed away. He was 67, and they said it was complications related to cancer. Just wanted to put that out there because I know there are a lot of people who are very familiar with African Bombada and may not have had that, but that story just broke recently. He did turn out to be a whole ass predator. That's right.
I was
See,
like, he was
Goldie.
touching them underage ones. He was
He did turn out to be one. Yeah, he
the
did.
whole Adobe Acrobat format. That's what I'm gonna say.
So, our main story of the day is the 15th Amendment. Oh, yes.
Hmm.
The 15th Amendment. And we're about to see the gutting of the Voting Rights Act. Now, for those people who don't know what the 15th Amendment is, the 15th Amendment, which was a part of, which was ratified in 1870. I know it clearly. I grew up with some teachers who made me learn 14, 15, 16. But the 15th Amendment is ratified in 1870, and it basically it gave black men the right to vote, not black women, nor white women, but it gave black men the right to vote, essentially prohibiting the right to vote based on color, or previous condition of servitude. So whether or not you were previously a slave, regardless of your race or color. What's so interesting is those were the only three stipulations. Gender was not built in the 15th Amendment because at that time, women did not have rights. Women still technically belonged to their husbands. They were still property of their husbands at that time. So, I just to bring you up to speed on the story at hand, the Supreme Court is hearing is going to hear. Um, well, they've already heard arguments, if I'm not
Twice,
mistaken,
as a matter of fact.
on that, and we've talked about that on Run Your Mouth. They've heard arguments in the case of Louisiana versus Calais, and that will gut Section 2 of the 15th Amendment, which was the mechanism that allowed for there to be the extra black district in Louisiana. It also allowed for the extra black district that you have in Alabama, which gave you Representative Shamari Figures in Alabama. I forgot the name of the black man who won that extra seat, but essentially that's what they're trying to get rid of: majority minority minority districts, specifically majority black districts. They want to do away with that, and so they're going to gut the Supreme Court is weighing whether or not the Section 2 of the 15th Amendment is constitutional, when
Shamari
used to
figures.
create Shamari. What I said? I didn't say Shamari
You
Figures.
said whoever it was Shamari.
No, I know Shamari was in Alabama. I'm saying it was somebody in Louisiana. I don't remember.
Oh, who brought the suit? Because
I know I remember there being an extra black district in Louisiana. I don't remember who won that district. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember who won that district um, in Louisiana. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
oh,
Um,
I know for the additional one in Alabama, it
yeah,
was
that was Shamari Figures.
it was
That one I
Shamari.
know.
Yeah, because we only had one. The
Which was
majority of my
Terry
life, we had
Sewell.
one black person.
Well, it was Terry Sewell, right?
It was Harry Silver. Before that, it was. We don't need to get into that. I was a staffer for him for a while though. He was.
Mm,
Hmm.
oh, I know who it was. I ain't gonna say nothing.
That with that schnoz, yes.
Mm,
But
mm.
I think it's very interesting because it's not really the 15th Amendment that they're going to go for. It's Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. That's what we need to be very concerned with, because Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act is that it is currently the nationwide permanent prohibition against voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race, color, or membership in a language minority group. So it prohibits vote dilution and vote denial. It has a legal standard of what's called the totality of circumstances if the political processes are not equally open to participation, meaning that the projected group has less opportunity than others to participate and elect representatives. That's
Mm,
what they're trying to get rid of. So you have to be very cavalier in how you would attempt to go around that. And the way in which they're doing it is very interesting because essentially they're trying to argue this post racial legal reality because they're trying to say by giving black people a district, that's racial gerrymandering. the court is essentially flipping the 14th and 15th Amendments on their heads, and they're using the tools that liberated us to build a cage for political agency. Because we know good and damn well, if you look at a lot of these southern states, they dilute the black vote because of these weirdly gerrymandered districts. Wherever there's these majority black places, they gonna drag that district all the way to include a bunch of rural white people, which you know do not have the same economic or political interests as urban black people, to dilute the vote. Like essentially, we have legislators choosing their own voters, which should not happen. Now, I do like the independent districting that some states do that make it a 50-50 toss up. So you actually have to have policy considerations that people would want to vote for. But people now just choose their own voters. That's how we have people that are running for office for the 18th time when they need to die.
I let's be clear. I have no reason to believe that when we get this ruling, this adjudication that's coming, probably when they release all of those, they certain times of the year, the Supreme Court releases a boatload of adjudications and rulings. And I have no reason to believe that they're not going to do what we think they're going to do, which is um, further gut the Voting Rights Act. Now we know they already gutted. They already took Section 5 out.
Yep.
Uh,
Shelby
uh,
County Beholder. Thanks, Alabama. To your point, Cajun, there's not a lot you can do because, and I'm not trying to be alarmist about this, but you have to look at it as what it really is. So they no longer have to prove that a map is fair, only that a map is race neutral. What does that mean? It means nothing. So, in a country where you have residential patterns that are deeply impacted by the history of racism and redlining, race neutral is literally just a polite term for intentional erasure. So, we need to look at this as kind of how the 1870s saw the dismantling of Reconstruction, which I still stand 10 toes down on this, was the best time for Black people politically because we actually had the most political power. Was in the 1870s. Like, so what we're now seeing is the legal dismantling of the civil rights movement. And I think the goal is to return us to a system where the Black vote is technically legal, but it's functionally irrelevant because it's going to be diluted.
and just to give people some of the history, when Shelby v. Holder happened and Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act happened, what Section 5 did was it was a protection that said in states that traditionally were racist toward black people and traditionally had discriminatory practices like poll taxes and things like that, you cannot make any changes to any election rules unless it gets pre-clearance. It had to get federal pre-clearance from the federal government in order for it to be enacted. So what happened is when they gutted Section 5, Chief Justice Roberts, if I and check me on this, Kemp, I believe he wrote the majority opinion.
He wrote the majority opinion, but what they really
And
did was they struck down Section 4B, which effectively gutted Section 5.
but the point was when they gutted it, he's literally in his majority opinion said you still have Section 2, which essentially should still protect voting rights for black people and other minorities. So basically, he said, "Oh, but Section 2 is still there, and that should protect voting rights." And that was before we had the demagogue that you have as your president now put his acolytes and sycophants on the court, and thus now the same Section 2 who you told us was
We
going
had,
to protect
yeah,
voting rights. Now that's going to go away. And essentially, there will be no voting rights because in their mind, oh, y'all not in chains and shackles anymore. So the fact that we've let you out of the chains and shackles and we're not whipping you anymore, we don't owe you anything. We don't owe you any protection. We owe you no equality. All we owed you was to take off the chains and shackles. And then you don't even get to mention the fact that you used to be in chains and shackles. We dare you to mention that. Matter of fact, we're going to erase all of the history books that say you were in chains and shackles so you can never complain about having been in chains and shackles. Because now that you're not in that, we don't give a damn about you.
and essentially what they when they did when they opened up those floodgates, and it was a 5-4 decision. It was a 5-4 decision. The result is Section 5 is technically still law, but it's inactive because there's no mechanism to trigger it. And that's why they attacked it the way that they did. But what are the impacts and the consequences of that? Okay. I don't even know if people can go back that far, but within hours of the decision, Texas immediately passed implementation of their strict photo ID laws. Immediately. And a lot of people don't even realize with that 2021 redistricting cycle, that was the first one in decades without federal clearance. So it allowed states to essentially implement discriminatory maps that effectively dilute minority voting power. Then you also had voter suppression, and then you had the voter purges, like just purging people from the voter rolls. It's fine. Y'all can still vote. We're just going to make it so that it doesn't mean anything. And then, like, it shifted the legal burden. So pre-clearance stopped unfair laws before they became law. Now voting rights advocates have to challenge the discriminatory law after they're implemented, which is it costs more money and it's a slower process. So you're already impacted in some voting cycles from it, and then they can just declare it illegal, but the damage is already done.
He, what so here's
And plus,
how here's how it's going to be painted by Republicans in order to disenfranchise other groups. They're going to paint it as this is a issue for black people. This is about black voting districts, and this is about black voter disenfranchisement. So because it's about black voter disenfranchisement, oh, all you Latinx and Hispanic people in Florida and Texas and many other places, don't worry, that's just for the blacks.
thank you. I was like, you're not saying the B hard enough. You gotta say it like they say it.
The blacks, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there you go.
And they're going to be disenfranchised.
But they don't care because they look in the mirror and they see someone descended from the Caucasus Mountains.
Mm. Well, they can look in the mirror and see someone that's going to end up in a concentration camp because these are the things that people vote for. And while you're thinking that, oh, it's not my concern, that's just the black people, realize you only have rights as a minority in this country because of black people.
Hell, you can only immigrate here because of fucking black people. Let's get started with that.
Let's also be clear, white women, you only have rights as a citizen because of the abolitionist movement. And you got mad when the 15th Amendment was passed because if you go back and study the history,
You talking about racist Susan B. Anthony?
even before her, we can go back to like the Grimke sisters and stuff like
I
that.
couldn't stand her.
But the women's suffrage was tethered to the abolitionist movement. White women were tethered to the abolitionist movement. What happened was in 1870, when black people, when 14, 15, and 16 were ratified, white women were incensed because they were still privileged and they thought they had their own white supremacy. And they said, how dare you give black men, the same black men who we used to tie to tree stumps and who we used to tie to the back of the barn so that we could rape black men. Yes, those white women who were raping black men who were slaves, so let's be clear. They were upset that those black men had the right to vote before white women got the right to vote and immediately removed themselves from the abolitionist movement. Well, it wasn't the abolitionist movement anymore, but removed themselves from being tethered to black people and wanted no part. So when Jim Crow came, they were all here for Jim Crow because it took the eyes off of white women and put the eyes on black people, and all white people who needed black white men alone needed. Let's really break this down. White men alone needed more voting strength, and so they wholly accepted the women's suffrage movement because they knew that would be a vote in their favor to garner their white privilege.
Yep. I mean, black
And
women
here we are.
couldn't vote for so long. Like when my
Yeah,
mother was
Xavier.
born, she couldn't vote. When my mother was born, she could not vote legally in this country. And people think that this is like so long ago, and it's like, oh my gosh, that racism is so far. No, it's not. And they trying to take us back. And when you can't win, you change the rules. And I would say the Republican Party's done that. They really changed the rules of engagement substantially.
Listen, black people essentially in most areas in the country could not vote until the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
Yep. My mom was born in 61. She could not vote when she was born.
Until the Voting Rights Act of 1965, black people could not vote.
And then so many of us that are still in the Southeast, where we should have way more political power than we do, but they pull all sorts of tricks and maneuvers so that we really get no representation. I mean, because when you look at what the black population is, it's definitely down there. And they still playing the same systems they've been playing.
So, all in all, this because I have no reason to believe that the Supreme Court is going to do the right thing. So when the Supreme Court does what it's going to do, that will be that that'll be such a big blow. Now here's the thing. What's even more concerning is because we as a black community and a black diaspora have lived through, like we said, a time where we essentially did not have the right to vote. The difference is, I shouldn't say the difference, but the question is, do we have the same fortitude that our forefathers and ancestors had to fight this shit? Do we have the temerity and tenacity to fight to get it back? We have not, it's not like we've never lived through times like this. We have. But do we have the resolve to say, oh, that's what y'all doing? Then okay, what's our move? What's our move? What is our counter move as a people? We can
We're
sit
gonna
back
have
and blame
we're gonna have
everybody.
to have that. We're gonna have to have that kitchen table talk because
Hmm.
I don't think that with the way that some people are, I would say hyper individualistic, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna be okay. 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 Because when you really look, if you really want to look at it, I mean, from the current Supreme Court, we've had three justices that were nominated by a Democrat. Everybody else was a Republican. And three of them were nominated by Trump. So like the elections have consequences, but I also need people to realize there's three factions in the Supreme Court. You got your liberal wing,
Mm-hmm.
you have your, I wouldn't really call them centrists. They're
Okay.
like right of center,
Right.
which the chief justice is a part of that faction, and then you have them crazy ass ones. Your Alito, your Thomases, and your
And now I don't even know if I can trust Kagan and Sotomayor. You see what they did with conversion therapy.
I read the opinion. I looked at the facts of the case. Colorado fucked themselves. I'll say that. I'll say that. They fucked themselves. But it's not what they ruled on versus what the impact is are two separate things. And I felt like, they went with that, oh, I have judicial integrity, but you knew what the outcome was going to be.
Exactly. We know what they ruled on,
So
but
you're,
we
you're
know
saying,
what's
oh, we
literally going to
can't get
happen.
their free speech. Okay. So, it's fine to torture children, essentially, is what we're saying. But, I mean, Jackson, my favorite anyway, because she gets to the point in the questioning. The oral argument, she be right there. One person that I've been pleasantly surprised by, Amy Coney Barrett. I ain't gonna lie, she asks good questions. I don't agree with her politically, but she be asking the right stuff. Like, she's more qualified than I thought she was. But when it comes to this voting rights, like, oh yeah, they gonna get the hell out of that shit. And Clarence Thomas gonna vote for it.
Yeah, we already know
Good.
how
His self-loathing ass.
we already know. I as 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 much of a concerted effort as the racists and bigots have to be racist, bigoted, and discriminatory, we have to develop the same resolve to fight this. And what has been learned, and this is not a new phenomenon today, this has been since the annals of time of us being over here. There there white people love to promote black people who can be bought off. You get where I'm going, right?
Cause
So
all
the people in positions of power that look like us, that are supposed to do
say
right by
their
us,
names.
have been bought and sold. Oh,
Say
I
their
name these people
names.
names all of the time. Shall I go through the CBC? Just go look through the fucking CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus.
Hmm. But like when
There's
we talk
very
about,
few. There is very few members of the Congressional Black Caucus that I see it for. I ain't gonna even hold you.
do you see it for any of them?
I do. There are some, but it's some bastards like Gregory Meeks out of New York, like Don Davis out of North Carolina, like Jim Clyburn out of South
South Carolina.
Carolina, out like Hakeem Jeffries. I can go down a long grocery list of people that I got issues with.
I also think that it's bigger than what we think it is too. Because when we say like, because Ryder makes a very valid point. Like, we are like anti-intellectual as a society. We don't trust like experts. We're very distrustful of that. But that's intentional. You got to realize that the president that ruined the middle class, Ronald Reagan, that's what he ran on. He ran on abolishing the Department of Education. So don't think that this stuff that Trump is doing is so unique. This has been going on since at least then. Because the Department of Education was established in what, 1979?
Mm-hmm.
So the Department of Education is not even that old. They've been trying to do this. It's been a concerted effort. And what did they realize? We can't do it at the federal level. We got to get down to the state and the local levels. That's how you get these crazy people on these school boards, and then they start changing curriculum. They make kids over generations more and more ignorant. They obfuscate history for them because they manipulate compliance. That's what they do. They want to keep you behind a screen. They want to keep you entertained so that you are missing all of this real stuff that's happening. Because at the base level, all politics is the process by which we determine who gets what and how much of that can they get. And if you want some of anything, you need a seat at the table. And if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the damn menu. And as black people, we already know we stay on the menu. But it's these other people that have been hoodwinked and fooled by this allure of white supremacy and being the model minority. What did it get Asian people? When they went up to the Supreme Court and argued about that affirmative action. Now there's more legacy admissions. And
Mm-hmm.
we know who the legacy admits are. White people. It ain't us. We been getting in. We fine. And if you don't want us at your institution, we'll just go to the HBCU. We're gonna be all right. Like we have the capacity to always be okay
I
because
can't even say that because we just talked yesterday or day before
if
about
it's in certain states, we need
University
to we gotta use nuance here. There are certain states where they are gunning for
no,
HB,
no, no. I'm talking about with the HBCUs because 90% of black students are at a PWI.
but we have seen some trends demographically where they are going to HBCUs.
No, they are, and that's even with us having historic enrollment at every HBCU known to man. We have
But you
historic
got those
enrollment.
states like Tennessee where
Um,
they're not trying to give them any money, which is a
th-
separate issue.
they're
But
trying to
I
take
think it
state
goes
funded
back to
HBCUs.
a story that we will talk about.
Yes. Speaking of which, let's segue because we have let's segue. We do have now I'm gonna do my best not to spike out, okay? Oh no, not this story. I'm not gonna well no. Yeah, I'm not gonna spike
We
out.
never know with you. I'm gonna just be honest. We never know what we're gonna get with you.
So one of the things that many people are alarmed about right now is the fact that people are learning about what's coming in December of this year, where eligible men will be automatically registered into the military draft pool as a part of an effort to streamline the process of self-registration and so forth. Now, let's be clear. This had already been decided last year. Um, Automatic registration was mandated in December of last year as a part of the 2026 fiscal NDAA, which is the National Defense Authorization Act. So this was something that was already enacted, put in place last year. They were just being real quiet about it. And it was not front of mind because we were not technically actively. Now we were at war, whether or not you wanted to believe it, but in most people's minds, we were not technically actively at war. Now, already in place, most men between the ages of 18 and 25, you have to register for selective service.
Hmm.
But that's something that you must do. Certainly, if you plan to go to college and get any assistance
That's
from the
fast.
federal government, you are going to sign up for selective service. That's it. That's all. Um, but there's never been an automatic meaning
And it
as soon
requires
as
your
you
signature.
turn
It requires your signature.
18, you're already in a database. You're already registered, whether or not you chose to or not.
You know what I got to say about this bullshit.
Go ahead. Tell me what you got to say.
So just like you said, if you were going to college, if you were going to get any sort of Pell Grant, any sort of loan from the federal government, as part of that process, you were required to register for the selective service. Now, if you weren't going to go to school, you can go to the post office and do it. It required you to have a signature though. So by moving to this automatic registration in December, what they're essentially doing is they're automating compliance. Okay, like this ain't a nudge. It's a kick in the ass, and you're not aware of it because when registration becomes automatic, dissent is no longer administrative. You can't dissent. You cannot consciously object to a process that happened automated behind your back. while you were simply applying for a damn driver's license or a state ID. The state is essentially telling us your body belongs to us the moment you are documented during this process. I think that that is terrifying when we look at the demographic reality of approximately 600,000 to 650,000 young black men will turn 18. And it's more than a statistic. This is a damn specialized labor pool. Like, I just think that it's very concerning, especially my experience being in the military and dealing with that rampant ass racism. When you look at how they dangle education in your face as a carrot to get you to enlist, because education should be free in this damn country. You should invest in your goddamn citizens so that they can then become the best versions of themselves, earn higher paying careers and jobs, and then pay that back into the tax pool. That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. But no, because y'all didn't want black people to have shit, y'all gay kept education and y'all put a price tag behind it. And so, what do these damn military recruiters do? They predominantly go to black and brown schools to get bodies to fight these war for rich people in America. Because let's be clear, even when we had the draft during the Vietnam War, the rich people, the President Bone Spurs included, somehow didn't have to go, or they got really cushy fucking assignments where their bodies were not on the line. South Park had a whole episode about this when they had it was Operation Shield. What was it? All the damn black people was in the front. This country has never given a damn about black people. They will continue to not give a damn about black people. We ain't going nowhere though. But if we don't think that this is concerning, maybe we should. Especially considering the fact that we're waging war right now without a declaration from Congress.
Each year, roughly between 600,000 and 650,000 black men turn 18 every year. That's what the statistics say.
And then you have two pathways for the most part for a lot of our young black youth, you know? It's
And,
either the
and, and
school to prison pipeline.
let's talk about it because
We
you're
go
talking
the
about
military.
you're talking about it. Let's say there was a draft, right? Worst case scenario. You're talking about 600,000 black men. Let's whittle that down to 500K because let's say all 600,000 won't be eligible, right? So let's whittle that down to an even 500K, right? So that's in the span of 2 years. You could have a million black men in uniform waiting to die at the behest of a raging fucking lunatic. And they don't give a rat's ass because our bodies, black bodies, are expendable. We're the first ones. Infantry, front lines, fuck that. We don't give a damn what your fucking ASVAB score is. Your ass is black. We need you, infantry, front lines, fuck you and fuck your life. Because your bodies need to be put on the line first because these are the same people who still to this day in their minds, and I'm not being hyperbolic, still to this day in their minds, they believe that black people have a different pain threshold than white people. Your sitting Secretary of Health and Human Services said that the AIDS and HIV in black people is different than the one in white people. He said that. That's what these people are saying. And so, like you were saying, Cams, you literally, they're already expecting black people to do what black people do. Now, what does that mean? Now, black people, I got to give us a little grief too. Over the years, we have always, think about your families. Many of us grew up in families where if you had a knucklehead little brother or knucklehead older brother, whatever, what did your parents and grandparents and family members tell them? Baby, you need to go ahead and get in the service. They used to say, go get in the service. They would force them to get in the service because they said to themselves, well, self, hey, Miss Baythang, you don't have any tangible skills right now. You didn't do good in school. You make horrible choices. Let the white man go clean you up and teach you how to make better choices in life. Meanwhile, across town, what we're doing is we are subjecting black people to trauma, to mental duress, to in many cases death, to lifelong dates with the therapist, to abject subjugation within the military. And the list goes on. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
but and here's the deal: you can easily say automatically we sign you up for the service, but we're not automatically signing black people up to vote, right? Because if you could sign me up to go to the military, you can automatically, force people to vote, couldn't you? Why can't we adopt the thing what they have like over in Australia? Australia, it is law. You have to
Compulsory voting.
vote. You
Compulsory.
literally, it is a law. Everybody has to fucking vote. That's a whole law. You know what their voting percentage is in the 90s, in the
What
90
y'all do?
percentile.
30, 30%?
Ours, yeah, it depends.
If it's a presidential election or not, because
Yeah,
nobody votes in the damn midterms, it feels like.
but it's well below 50. There are several countries that it's mandatory to vote because they actually care about democracy. Because if you they don't care about democracy. They care about keeping power. As we've said, manufactured compliance. That is what they care about. They don't give a damn
No. They want the status
about
quo.
democracy.
Samira did ask a question earlier. So Samira, the NDAA, that is an annual piece of legislation that's passed. So it was passed under this current administration. So the NDAA it authorizes the funding level and it sets the policies for the Department of Defense and national security programs. I believe the FY 26 one was around $890 billion. Just FYI. So they pass that on an annual basis, and it also determines what the raises for your service members are. So that's how you figure out how much your check going to increase because the NDAA is where they specify that funding. But to the point that you were making, El Teddy, what I want to say is, as a veteran who had to deal with that shit, even though there's supposed to be a uniform, code of military justice, the application for that shit has gotten worse. Like there are significant racial disparities, and it has increased.
That
So
is
if you black, you have a higher likelihood of being investigated. That could railroad your career. You have a higher likelihood of non-judicial punishment, which means taking your time and taking your damn money. And you have a way higher percentage of being court-martialed, and you can get put out with a bad conduct discharge.
as a victim of Miami-Dade County public school system. I vividly remember camps being in the 10th grade and they
Mm.
sat all of was it 10th or 11th grade? It was either 10th or 11th grade. I don't remember. I think it was 11th grade. I think it was the same year where we had a couple things in 11th grade. I think it was 11th grade. 11th grade, in your U.S. history class, you were mandated to fill out all of the paperwork to get your voter registration. That was something that we had to do in 11th grade. But I remember they set all of us in a freaking auditorium and made us take that goddamn ASVAB.
Oh, I took it every time it was offered to get out of class, and I had no intention of joining out of high
No, no,
school.
no. It was the entire grade level. We're talking the knuckleheads. We're talking those
It
of
was
us who were
voluntary for us. It
no,
was
no, it was
voluntary
not
for us.
voluntary. They trapped all of us in that damn auditorium, our entire 11th grade class. We were sitting, and they had maybe about 5 or 6 teachers. You had people over there in the corner bouncing off the wall. They even had the special ed kids in there. We were just all in this one auditorium taking the ASVAB.
And it's
I
so funny that you mentioned that though. Because to go back to the point that you were making, it's like most the black community, like some people have either you finna go to school, you finna get you a job, or you going to that service. But to get to the service, you have to take the ASVAB. You need to study for that because the higher you do, the
mm-hmm,
better jobs you could get. The lowest score only enables you to be on the front lines.
infantry.
On the front lines.
Now it's so funny. What was a full circle moment is as an educator in the Miami-Dade County public school system when they didn't make the whole grade level, but when they were asking us in faculty meetings to promote the ASVAB because the school board has statistics that they needed to meet for how many people, how many students took the ASVAB. I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Why is this a
If y'all want to do this, be my guest. I'm not doing it, but y'all can go ahead. Be
why
my
was it
guest.
a KPI for y'all? Like, why? Are they getting kickbacks
Because
from the
there were
government?
grants and funding that they could get. They were trying to get more black people, and the federal government and the state was giving funding to the school districts who have more people that were signing kids up for ROTC, taking the ASVAB. And so, if you had a certain percentage of your students that took the ASVAB, that opened you up to more funding from the federal government. Oh, it was a whole thing.
And then I guess really the beef that I have with that whole thing is because we do this rah 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 bullshit. You know, we sing the national anthem at every sports event, but I think it's just indoctrination and weird. But that's a separate topic for a separate day. We claim to give a damn about our service members. We claim we don't. They don't give a fuck about them people. They don't give a fuck about them young men and women overseas. They don't give a fuck about them, and they for damn sure don't give a fuck about veterans because why are you always cutting the budget? Why are you always trying to do things that are going to make a material impact like the VA loan program Trump got rid of? Now you got veterans in foreclosure, but you care about these people who will never be 100% again for the things that they see because it's one thing to talk about war, it's another thing to experience it, it's another thing to have to go through the shit, and then you come back and they're like, oh, you're fine, huh? But then they don't want to give you any resources or support so that you can be a productive member of society. They don't care. You just a body to go spread this imperialism overseas so these rich people can get richer. That's what it is.
Somebody asked me what high school I went to. The greatest high school on earth. There's only one high school right here. See this right here. There's only one high school. There's only one high school on earth. Miami Central Senior High School, home of the mighty Rockets. That's it. That's all.
The Rockets. Oh, okay.
The Rockets. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
Um,
But okay.
we also need to talk about Cam's the fact that there's a black recession going on. This is
Let's
tied to the
get
federal
into it.
government. This is tied to the Doge and what the fuck they had going on. This is tied to the fact that they've done everything to gut federal agencies, and we know that federal agencies, the federal government is the highest employer of black people. Also, even m- uh, uh, um, uh, more so than that, this complete gutting of the education Department of Education is on purpose. Why? Because the Department of Education has somewhere around almost, dare I say, almost 50% of their workforce is black. It fluctuates. Some years is around 38%, some years is in the 40s. We only make up about 11% of the population. And so you gutting the Department of Education means that you are ceremoniously firing getting rid of a bunch of black jobs. You gutting the agencies and the federal workforce means that you are getting rid of black jobs because, again, the federal government is the largest employer of black people. So, we're good to work for you in the military. We just talked about that. We're good to go put our bodies on the line, our minds on the line for you people in your chosen wars, right? Not good to be over here and have a job and try to at least be at least lower middle class if we can. You know what I'm saying? Us poor people, you know what I'm saying? So, but the point that I'm making is they want no parts of black people being able to attain any amount of wealth, any amount of standard of living, or anything of that nature. None at all. But we are literally, if you haven't noticed, because you can't tell some black people that they still outside and they still thinking that everything is peachy.
I
By the time they
mean,
realize it, it's gonna be too late.
it's a tale of two economies right now, right? The reality is that the March 2026 Bureau of Labor Statistics report, it's a stark contrast if you're black versus if you're white. National unemployment is at 4.3%. Black unemployment is at 7.1. For black men, it's even worse because the unemployment rate is 7.9% for black men. It's dropped down to 6.3 for black women. However, for black women, that's double the rate of white women, which is at 3.4%. And then even when you look at the federal harms tracker, and the data is from like March, over 213,000 civil servants have been purged from the federal workforce through firings, forced relocations, and deferred resignation programs. So why does that matter? Why do we give a shit about it? The anchor is being cut. Because when you look at it historically, the federal government has been the economic safe haven for Black Americans. It was the one place where civil service protections and transparent pay scales gave us some protection against hiring discrimination in the private sector. And by gutting those roles, they're not just shrinking the government, it's intentionally destroying the primary engine of Black middle class wealth. And I don't think that that's by chance. I don't think it's by circumstance. It's very intentional. And it goes back into the manufacturing of certain things. And in this instance, it's economic compliance because this is the bandwidth tax. When you have to worry about paying your rent, buying groceries, you're not focused on political organizing. You're focused on survival, right? You don't have the luxury of protesting them gutting the Voting Rights Act or the automatic registration for the draft. Then you want to talk about how the FY 2026 budget explicitly targets what this administration calls cultural Marxism, full elimination of the Minority Business Development Agency, the CDFI Equitable Recovery Program. These aren't just DEI programs. Like these are financial lifelines for like Black entrepreneurs, small businesses. By cutting them, we're essentially the state is starving the Black economy from the top down as well as the bottom up.
I think that what we have to understand is this isn't just a federal government situation. When they enacted this on the federal level, states started to do this. And there are now 26 states, 26 states that have their own version of the Department of Government Efficiency where they are going through their own state government agencies and workforce and having rifts there. Now, largely, it's a lot of red states, but there are some blue states as well. You got New Jersey in that number. You got Connecticut in that number, the whole Southeast. Now, why is there a lot of red states? It's mostly red states. Why are there a lot of red states? Because red states are the states that take from the federal government. These are the states that perpetually are unable to fund their own governments.
But always
So they
doing some
look to the
tax cuts.
blue states. They look to blue states to offset that, and they look to take from the federal government in the form of the taxes from blue states. Traditionally, that's how that works. And so you have Texas has third largest state. What is Texas? Number two or number three? I think Texas is the second largest state in the country. They have their own Doge. Florida, I think, is the third largest state in the country. They have their own. Of course, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, even Wisconsin. I already told you about New Jersey, Connecticut. You got New Hampshire, Arizona, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota. These are all states that have enacted their own Doge or Doge like agencies that were designed to go through and pillage, decimate the state agencies. And so now we're talking not just on the federal level, you now have this happening on the state level. And I'm sure if we looked it up, you could even find this on the municipality level.
And you also
So,
you're gonna see it accelerate though, El Teddy. Somebody was commenting about this the big bullshit bill, how those cuts are about to be active.
mhm.
So they gotta cut something because the federal reimbursement rates is about to go down.
Let me tell you the double-edged sword that the people don't see. They're cutting jobs, right? They're cutting jobs. They're cutting jobs that are traditionally strongholds. They're cutting jobs that were deemed safe jobs. And then even jobs that aren't safe, they're gutting all of the unions that protect jobs. So they're gutting job protection. They're either firing you writ large or you're getting a job that's not protected at all, so you can be fired on a whim because they're doing away with the unions. Then the federal government comes on the back end and say we're cutting all uh, 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 um, federal services like SNAP, like all of the other government amenities that we have learned that's supposed to be our safety net when we're down and out or when you're going through periods of unemployment and things like that. Those things are being gutted. So now we're firing you, but we also may not have the money to help you out or give you that safety net.
What
And
damn
then and
man.
then and then here's the third part that makes it really full circle. You then have states, even the blue states, that are making it illegal for you to be homeless. So you basically have ensured that I'm going to be homeless and out on the streets, right? And then you say it's illegal for you to be homeless. So we got to get all them homeless people out, from off our streets. But yeah, they want
I blame
1.5
Ronald Reagan.
trillion dollars. They want 1.5 trillion. That's what they want, Samira. Hmm.
That doesn't even include contingency budgets, which is separate. That's separate appropriations. And oh, by the way, like certain military organizations have never been able to pass a fucking audit. So we can't. There's no oversight of
Accountability.
where the
No,
money
no
goes.
oversight, no accountability at all.
I mean, it's worse than the PPP. It's worse than that shit. I just look. You have to laugh because what the fuck is going on? You would
Like
think that every news headline we've covered is an onion story, but it's fucking real.
real,
What the
real is
fuck is
real.
going on? Here the fuck we are though.
Here we are. Here the fuck we are. Um,
This
uh,
shit is ghetto, and I want to leave.
but we're supposed to have people that are supposed to help us, right, Cams? Let's talk about your people, the Dems.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Mm.
Kamari is a registered independent. Registered
Let's
independent.
let's talk about those people. I have people in my comment section, especially after Run Your Mouth, because you know, on Run Your Mouth, I'm usually ranting and raving about the Democratic Party and how much they get on my fucking nerves, right? And people get in my DMs and say, well, if you're progressive, then why are you always bashing the Dems? Because they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Look,
But so
soft
here's
is
the,
an understatement.
go ahead, Kez. I'm sorry.
I mean, no, Roddy was saying they soft. Soft ain't a. I'm independent. I don't.
Yeah, soft doesn't even begin to describe these people and their fuck shit and
We
fuckery.
soft in the damn baby food.
Lord. What today? Yes, just today. Just today, the DNC they had a meeting, right? And there was a resolution that was put on the floor of the DNC that was being put on the floor that would ask that the DNC basically denounce APAC as well as any corporate groups, dark money or money from corporate groups and things like that in Democratic primaries. That was the resolution. It was namely a symbolic resolution. There was really no teeth in it. There was really no, oh my God. It was a symbolic resolution to limit the influence of APAC and dark money groups in the primaries of in the Democratic primaries. What did Kid Martin do? Follow the
Push
orders.
that ass.
He followed the orders of Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and said, I know you will not. I know you will not think that we would do or say anything that will denounce APAC, APAC being the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, excuse me. The same APAC that primaried Corey Bush and Jamal Bowman. That APAC, you know. The same APAC that tried to primary Summer Lee and she still won anyway. The same APAC will go all the way to 2020 with India Walton up there in Buffalo, New York. The same APAC that had her, who was the Democratic candidate, APAC paid millions of dollars to fund the campaign to have people put a write-in candidate, to have that write-in candidate wrote in to beat that progressive, only for that man to end up being indicted and brought up on charges. The same APAC that supports Henry Cuellar, that APAC. Not only could they not denounce APAC, they could not denounce corporate PAC money writ large. Any of that dark money, yeah, no, we're not going to denounce that. Yeah, we need all parts of that. So essentially, what you're saying is you don't give a damn about your constituency. Let's be clear. Here's what the fuck they're expecting. Kamz, what the fuck these bitches are expecting is people are going to be so fucking livid and incensed by the fuck shit over at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that they're going to vote for the other side. And while they're going to do that, these will be the same bitches a year from now that even if we gave them full the Senate and the House, even if we gave them both, they would still be complaining, oh, well, we can't do anything. Oh, well, we're still at the behest of the president's veto. Oh, well, we can't get. These are the same bitches that had Biden, they had the Senate, and they had the fucking House in the year of our Lord 2021 and 2022. We never saw the John Lewis voting rights bill, did we? We never saw the George Floyd bill, did we? We never saw any of that shit. And these bitches ran on it. Now, these are the same fuckhoes who sit up here and have nothing to fuck to say, give no resistance. We just talked about the military. We have black bodies that are dying daily, that they're keeping silent and being put on the line for another country at at the appeasement, the willful appeasement of the leaders of the fucking Democratic Party. These people couldn't even so much as have a symbolic resolution to denounce APAC and corporate PAC money because they ain't shit. They don't give a fuck about us. All they care about is who's going to line their pockets. And while you'll have a fuck bitch like Hakeem Jeffries that'll sit here stinking at, that's my own frat brother. I got on a whole 1911 shirt today, so I can talk about this shit. This bitch will get on the microphone, right? You put a mic to his face and say, "Well, why do you take APAC money?" And his stinking ass will say some bullshit like, "Well, if you look, the majority of my campaign contributions are small contributions from that range in $14 to $30. So you can't make that. You can't say that that's happening. Bullshit. When you get millions of dollars from one entity, you work for them. You are now under whip. You are now on their figurative cotton fields. Yes, I said it, bitch. You're on their proverbial and figurative cotton fields, picking fucking cotton for APAC and all of these bitches. I'm sick of it. And then you got the nerve to come over here and try and take our fucking, ask us to vote for us. And then you go, we had people that were willing to primary some of these bitches. And y'all go around here paying people off so as to keep these same fuck bitches in power. I'm sick of all these hoes. I'm sorry. I'm just sick of, where's Larry? Because I'm sick of it. Jesus. I'm sorry, Kamz. I melted down a little bit. I'm sorry.
Hey, you worry about
I
me.
didn't even have Larry. I didn't even have Larry to save me today. Do I need to Larry, where are you? Larry, where are you?
Where art thou?
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like. Major sugar spike. So love now. I want to fight. That he gave, yeah. His only begotten son. Major sugar spike. And shall ever believe. Major sugar spike. They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus.
I wish somebody help us. I wish somebody help us.
I apologize. I spiked. I had a whole sugar spike. I did.
Did.
I had a
Did.
whole sugar spike. I didn't mean that. I did
You
not mean.
did.
This is not
It,
run your
it's okay.
mouth. Run your mouth is where I have sugar spikes. Hey,
No, you
Terry.
do it on this. You do it on this platform as well. Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to lie to kick it now. But I do want to say that I'm gonna call this a New Orleans pivot, okay? Because they pivoted hard on this shit, and I don't get it. So the resolutions committee, they officially killed that proposal that sought to condemn, what did they call it? A growing influence of the APAC lobby. So what they do? This is what they did. Okay. Instead of calling them out, which spent a staggering $22 million in the Illinois Democratic primaries just last month,
And
they
still
had
their
that
candidate didn't win.
watered down general resolution addressing outside money. That's what they did. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
But the pivot is really inexplicable when you think about there was an NBC Pew poll that showed that 80% of Democrats now view Israel unfavorably. 4 years ago, it was 53%. So you have leadership that's moving in the exact opposite direction of its voting base. I find that peculiar. Y'all don't have the House. Y'all don't have the Senate. You don't have the White House. You don't have the Supreme Court. The fuck is you giving motherfuckers to vote for? What are we doing? I'm confusion. Your voting base does not like this particular organization, and they think that the unfettered support and aid is to the detriment of domestic things going on here. The average person in Israel, off of the $7+ billion we give them annually, lives better than the average American here.
Free healthcare, free education, including college.
Here. We don't get none of that.
Free
So why are we
healthcare, free
so focused
education, including
over
college.
there when we don't have none of that here? I, I'm confused because it now feels like this ain't even about foreign policy anymore. This is about a financial muzzle.
Hmm.
So it's about this is primary gatekeeping at this point. So APEC's super PAC, the United Democracy Project (UDP), it's become the invisible hand of Democratic primaries. Illinois second district, they spent millions through a shell pack to back those specific candidates while they attacked progressives who dared mention, hey, maybe we need to put some conditions on this aid because y'all start shit and then y'all expect us to help y'all out. No, 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 no. Talk shit, get hit. That ain't got nothing to do with us. But we always get dragged in because of this weird relationship that we have because there's a lot of Zionists that are in government and they are in a death cult. I said it. I don't
They
care.
are. They the
But
fuck are.
when you look at it from even the black perspective, it's a targeted purge because historically black politicians have been the most vocal critics of this unconditional military aid. And we've been the most consistent advocates for human rights globally because we get treated like shit and we're empathetic. We don't want to see other people get treated like shit globally. So what do they do? APAC has recognized this and they're trying to effectively subsidize a more compliant black political class, aka these niggas have been bought. I'ma say it. I don't give a shit. They fund challengers against these uncooperative black incumbents. Look at how they're trying to target Danny Davis' seat. They bankroll these black candidates who agree to prioritize the U.S. Israel relationship over domestic black investment. All skinfolk ain't kinfolk. So it's this dual loyalty. By rejecting that resolution to limit APAC, the DNC has signaled that donor loyalty trumps constituent priority. That's just how I feel. And it's like the dark money factor. I I'm tired of it. Citizens United has ruined politics. We need to do something to rein that in because money should not have this much of an undue influence on these elections. We're not even talking about the like why the hell are we talking about Israel when we got our own stuff going on over here? We have our like we are in a recession. Black unemployment is at 7.1%. I don't care about the people over there, to be quite frank. I don't. I want to focus on the things that are impacting us here because that's what we're paying taxes for and we're getting no material benefit from.
But Cam, the rubber has hit the pavement. We are directly being affected because of Israel and their policies. Remember, the only reason that we're at war, we started this episode off talking about the war in Iran. The reason that we're in this war with Iran is directly because of Israel and the Israeli regime. And again, like I said yesterday, I'm not going to split Benjamin Netanyahu and his regime from Israel because you keep voting for this bitch. In the same way, you cannot separate the United States of America from Donald John Trump and his regime because we voted for that fuck shit.
They, they. I had enough
I mean,
goddamn
in the
common
eyes of the
sense.
world, in the eyes of the world, when you
I don't
look
give a
at
damn
us,
about these folks.
they look at us like, oh, y'all voted for that bitch. So I'm going to say this. The rubber has now hit the pavement where now you have Israel having direct influence on us here. Our gas prices directly influenced because of them bitches and their fuck shit. All of these grocery prices and prices for goods and the fact that Amazon's going up on their prices for what you getting stuff delivered, the fact that our plane tickets are going up. The fact that even if you ain't got a car and you want to catch Uber, that's about to go up. You know, if you catch public transportation, they need gas, don't they? And if this is sustained, even the cost of public transportation is going to go up and never come back down.
I'm not
So
gonna put
we
that
are
at the foot of
now.
Israel though. I'm not gonna put that at the foot of Israel. You know what I'm gonna put that at the foot of? because we don't have an administration that is competent. They project about DEI when this fucking administration is full of unqualified white people. Because Israel tried to pull the same shit with Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was competent enough and had an administration of people around him that was competent enough to see through the bullshit. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying for 40 fucking years, we're under imminent nuclear attack from Iran.
Meanwhile, he's always preemptively attacking Iran. Iran be over there minding their own fucking business. And that bitch goes over there. Benjamin Netanyahu is all about imperialism. He wants the imperialism that the United States was able to have 300, 400 years ago. He wants that level of imperialism, and he wants to take all of the Middle East. And the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains want white presenting Israelis to take over all of the Middle East because they could give a damn about those brown people over in Semitic countries. Because let's be clear, being anti-Semitic doesn't mean you're anti-Israel. That means you are anti-Semitic people of the Semitic area. And a newsflash, people in Semitic areas are not just Israel.
And most of them are actually from Europe, but we don't need to get into that right now.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
To take it back to the politics and the midterms, right? As we head into these 2026 midterms, my question to us is, as the Black collective, will we continue to support a party that refuses to close that loophole, allowing external lobbyists to effectively pick their representatives? Are we going to continue to vote for a party that ain't really doing shit for us, but they can say that we're not MAGA, we're not Donald Trump? That's not enough for me. You got to give me something to vote for. And I'm gonna be for real with it. The DNC nationally has not given me a goddamn thing. They ain't giving me shit. Like what's the platform? What are the policies that are gonna make Americans' lives better? But this fellatio that you constantly give, Israel and AIPAC, it ain't doing shit for me. I'm sorry. It's actively hurting me. But, we don't care about the constituents because the DNC just does whatever the fuck they're going to do. And they were like, well, we're the opposition party. Who else are they going to vote for? Baby, I'll write somebody in. This shit already burning up. I mean, they gutted the Civil Rights Act once. They're going to do it again.
Yeah. Let's do our quick hits before I spike out again on the deal. I sit here and lose my mind.
I want you to come back around for round two and drag their ass one more time.
No.
I told you Ken Martin wasn't shit.
Ken Martin. We've been to hell. That's in the intro. The fact that I was going off on Ken Martin in the fucking intro.
I told you. You were like, what do you know about him? He ain't shit. That's what I know.
He ain't shit.
He's weak. He's weak. Yeah. He's weak. Come on.
Quick hits. Courtney Williams. She's been arrested. She is an Army veteran, and last year she went public with allegations of harassment inside of an elite Army unit, a special forces unit within the Army. They say that by her coming forward with her allegations of harassment, that she disclosed classified national defense information to a journalist. And so now she's been arrested and she's been charged with federal crimes.
Don't make me spike the fuck out about this one. So Courtney Williams is a 40-year-old Army vet. Shout out to the Army, and a former Fort Bragg employee. And they are charging her under the Espionage Act for allegedly leaking classified national defense information to journalist Seth Harper for his book, The Fort Bragg Cartel. So this is what the prosecutors are alleging, that because she had a top secret SCI clearance while she supported Delta Force, and she exchanged, I believe they said, over 180 messages and over 10 hours of calls with Hart. providing sensitive tactics, techniques, and procedures (TTPs). And if she's convicted, 10 years. 10 years. But the reason why it's unnerving to me is they're trying to weaponize her into silence because to me she wasn't leaking for profit. She was a whistleblower exposing a culture of sexual harassment and gender discrimination within one of the most elite and secretive units in the army. Um, because male Delta Force operators frequently go on those bro podcasts to discuss missions with little to no consequence. The state is coming down on a woman who was exposing internal rot, right? And by using the Espionage Act, a tool that has historically been used to crush dissent, the state is sending a message that if you report this misconduct inside the machine, we will label you a threat to national security and we will attempt to dismantle your life.
Oh, let's be clear. Cash App came right out and said this is to warn would-be leakers. This is to, meaning Cash App basically said this is warning any of you other women that want to talk about being harassed and have the nerve to think that we won't be able to openly and willfully harass you whenever we want to sexually. You'll be put behind bars.
I mean, when I was in, they were first starting to integrate women into combat arms units. And when I tell you there was rampant sexual assault and sexual abuse, there were so many male leaders that use their rank, their power to enter these sexual relationships with people that were not even able to drink, who were married with children. They said, if you tell anybody, I'm going to ruin your career. This has been a thing. So none of this is shocking to anybody that's been in. Like, we do not get the best and the brightest to join. There are a multitude of reasons why people join the armed forces, but I will say this: there was somebody. Now, why did you join? I just wanted to kill people. And before you even ask, yes, he was. The shit is the wild, wild west, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that we sanitize and cover up a lot of things that are really going on, but it ain't kumbaya. It's a lot of this going on. And it's not just against women. Let me be clear. Men are also sexually assaulted and abused.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not shocking to me at all. But hopefully she gets her a stellar legal team. But I do think the competence of this, you know, administration is gonna play it to her favor.
Second quick hit, Haitian TPS. SCOTUS has well, a appellate court temporarily blocked the Trump administration's efforts to terminate TPS status for the Haitian Americans that had TPS status. Coded, not coded, SCOTUS.
Scrotum,
Right.
scrotum.
SCOTUS is saying that they're going to take this up. I'd have to look into it to see if they have allowed this administration to temporarily continue to terminate that TPS, or if they allowed the appellate court's ruling to stay until such a time as they make their adjudication.
So basically, the administration filed an emergency application with the Supreme Court to vacate a lower court's stay.
Did this go on the shadow docket?
It probably will. It'll go on the shadow document that it'll just return an order unsigned. But essentially, the lower court's stay has been blocking the Trump administration from terminating Haiti's TPS status for about 352,000 Haitians. If the stay is lifted, individuals, most of whom have lived and worked in the U.S. for over 10 years, will face immediate deportation to a country that is, I'm going to say it, in a state of total humanitarian and governmental collapse. But what,
Caused by the United States.
and France. But the administration argues that the court
Well, no,
overstepped.
I'm just saying more modern. Listen,
No, I'm never going to get my foot off of
off of
France's
Francis,
neck
yeah. Oh,
because
but
that reparations
but in
argument was
recent
bullshit.
modern history, we do know that United States was involved in the murder of Moise. I mean, Jovenel Moise. Excuse me.
We look. We ain't got to. You
And
know
that
what?
was just what 2, 3 years ago.
We need to do a special edition, red, blue, and black, of all the governments we've overthrown and people that we've had assassinated. We need to do it. We need to do a special edition.
And that was during the Biden administration. Same Biden administration that had a CPP that was whipping Haitian American immigrants
I
with
recall that. Run your mouth.
straps from their fucking horses. And you had a Haitian
Last on
American
them up.
that was sitting as the fucking press secretary that didn't bat an eye and didn't say a fuck thing. Kareem Jean Pierre. See, I'm gonna call you like the Haitian people call you. Your name is Kareem Jean Pierre. Ain't no Corinne Jean Pierre. No, 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 no. Because I grew up around Haitians. It's Kareem Jean Pierre. Don't you sat up there and didn't say a fuck thing about it. Don't get me started. Because I'm not trying to
I would like
strike
to get you started.
spike out again.
I would like to get you started. Actually.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna keep it
Yes.
in
Yes.
order.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Cash App. Urgh. Cash App Patel. Your mama named you Cash App, so I'm gonna call you Cash App. You cross-eyed ass fucker. Cash App and the FBI, according to reports, they have recently raided, and not just according to reports, we watched it. They raided Fulton County, Georgia. They have, from what I understand, and I'm still trying to get some information on it, they've also been covertly raiding other swing state areas that have majority black votes. I've heard that there's attempts being made in areas of Philadelphia. I've heard that there are areas in Michigan, around Detroit area, and there are several other areas that they've already did the same thing that they did in Fulton County, and that they're trying to do. Hmm.
I want to talk about this because I look. This shit is so fucking illegal, and it happened. This happened way back when.
And the magistrate said that we've learning that they gave improper information to the magistrate that allowed for this to happen.
Yes, yes. So this is what happened. Okay, in January, under Cash App's command, they
Cash
raided,
App.
they raided the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center. They had a criminal search warrant, and they seized hundreds of ballots containing the physical ballots from the 2020 election, ballot images, and what else? Motherfucking voter rolls.
That's right.
So as of this week, Fulton County is like they are in very heated like discussions legally. Some of the phrases that they use, this is not no normal like, oh, the plaintiff, the defendant. Nah, this is personal shit. Because the new court filings allege that the Justice Department improperly coordinated its civil and criminal divisions to use the FBI raid as a pretext to seize documents that they could not get through standard civil litigation. Now, Cash App is saying this is a long overdue investigation into suspicious aspects of the 2020 election. He lost. It's just that easy. He
Meanwhile,
lost.
meanwhile, this has already been adjudicated. They've already been to court, federal court, for about the Fulton County votes from 2020. That's already been
And they
adjudicated.
lost. And they
They
lost.
lost.
And this is why they're trying to backdoor this to get this
And that's why they
documentation.
had that bitch Tulsi Gabbard there, because they tried to cloak it as this is a national security risk because she's the DNI. Like, it's
Man,
insanity.
fuck that great value ass motherfucking Cruella de Vil, that Aldi brand ass bitch. I don't fuck with her. I wasn't fucking with her when she was in Hawaii as a fucking representative. That bitch been fake and fraudulent.
She been a ain't shit ass bitch.
She
Let's
ain't
just be clear.
shit. And to
She
be
been a ain't
honest,
shit bitch.
her former goddamn political patron ain't shit either. Yeah,
Mm.
Bernie old ass ain't did shit in about 40 years. Sanders, he ain't shit either. I don't trust nobody peddling white populism. Because you always talking about class, but fuck race. We ain't gonna talk about that. We just gonna talk about class.
Tell the people how you feel with your whole chest. Go
Man,
ahead and
fuck
say it
Bernie
with your
Sanders. Fuck
chest.
Tulsi Gabbard. Fuck Cash Patel old cross-eyed ass. Because I don't know who he lying to, because I don't know who the fuck he looking at.
Right, because I don't know who you talking to.
Because
Who
who
are
you
you talking
talking
to,
to?
sir? Good sir, who are you talking to, Cash App?
He finna be the next one gone too.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised he
I
been there
thought he
this
was gonna be
long.
gone before Bondi.
I'm trying to tell you, I thought he was gonna be gone too. He a little too brown. You got a little too much melanin, Cash App. Cash App. You got a little too much melanin
And I
over there,
don't even
Cash
work
App.
at Cash Out. I use Venmo over here. Sometimes PayPal.
I use Zelle. I'll take a Cash App. But your don't tell me to call you Cash. Your mammy named you Cash App. KASHYAP. Cash App. That's your fucking name. Just like that bitch Nimr.
Whew.
Named you Cash. She named you Cash App. Just saying.
I can't with you.
I don't know what y'all
Xavier,
want from me,
how will he
okay?
protect the crown jewel of America? His white woman.
Am I frozen? Wait, am I frozen? They said I'm frozen.
You
Hold
back
on.
now.
Oh, I was frozen? I ain't know.
You was going in on
On Cash App. I had to spell his name out. You know how remember the old song? You might not remember this song. What's my name? Spell my name. Splackavelli.
yeah, no.
S P L A C K A D E L L I E. Splackavelli. Your name is KASHYAPPATL. Cash App. Cash App. Your mama named you Cash App, so that's what I'm gonna call you, bitch.
I feel like they hate themselves. They've aligned with white supremacy so much that they see themselves as you will never be white.
Just
They
like I
do
think
not
Vivek
want
gonna
you
lose that
here.
governor's race. I think Vivek gonna lose that governor's race up there in Ohio because they not gonna vote for his brown ass. Nope. They
I'm
not.
still trying to look. I'm still trying to figure out if the folks in Michigan all right. Y'all telling everybody not to vote for him. How's that going for you?
Oh dear God.
How is that going for your brown asses up there? How is that going? Are y'all okay? Because we'll
Our
be fine.
last quick hit of the day is on Medicaid work mandates. Implementation is now about to start of the 80-hour compliance um, in order to get Medicaid. Um, yeah. So now you're going to tell people, yeah, you get sick, yeah, die, bitch. No Medicaid for you. You're not working 80 hours for whatever reason, yeah, bitch, die. But we do need your taxes from your earnings so we can send that over to Israel so their citizens can have free health care. But you, no bitch, die. And
I'm,
wait, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go. What's so funny is even white Americans. You know what, white Americans? The fact that we are indentured servants to Israel is nothing more than the modern day plantation. And you fucking white people are on the same fucking plantation as we are and don't even fucking realize it because we are working and paying taxes only for all of our labor and work and taxes to be shipped over so another country and their citizens can get reap all of the benefits and joys of all of the things we could only dream of having. And that they told you there's not an ice cube's chance in hell of having. Universal health care, bitch, you'll die before you get that. Free college, bitch, you'll die before you get that. And your children's children will also die before they get that. Go ahead, Cams. I'm sorry.
Well, this was under the big bullshit bill,
Mm-hmm.
where they formally tied Medicaid eligibility to a community engagement mandate. So starting this month, states like Nebraska are beginning early enforcement, while all the expansion states must have their tracking systems operational by the end of the year. What does this mean? If you able-bodied 19 to 64, you have to document at least 80 hours per month of qualifying activity. Whether
Well,
that's
look who came to join. Oh, well, he was here. Wait, there you go.
employment, job training, or community service to keep your health coverage. And failure to report those hours every 6 months, or in some states, every month, will lead to immediate termination of your benefits. Immediate termination. So, what I want to point out is the able bodied myth. Who the fuck defines who's medically frail? So, if the state gets to define who is healthy enough to work, does a chronic condition such as sickle cell, hypertension, or lupus, which hits our communities harder, count, or will those people be swept up in the healthcare purge? Also, the damn surveillance component. These mandates that they have, it requires invasive data sharing between state agencies and federal contractors. Is this just about work, or is this about building a digital architecture of control that tracks increasingly more and more of our lives? So, as we look at Nebraska moving to execute this early, are we going to build mutual aid help networks that bypass the state compliance trap? I don't know. But these folks saying that they were like, essentially, they said, y'all not finna have shit, and you
Well, I
gonna
think it's 80 hours every 2 weeks. I don't think it's a week.
80
I
hours
hope
per
it's
month,
every
per month, per month,
per month. Yes, 20
80
hours a
hours per
week.
month. But if you already on this, you have a determinate. I'm not even finna fucking get into it. I'm not even going to get into it. But I will say Black Americans, we make up 20% of the Medicaid enrollees, but we're only about 13% of the population. It disproportionately targets us. Furthermore, 65% of Black births are financed by Medicaid. So this isn't just a work rule; it's a direct threat to Black maternal and infant survival. So by making this coverage conditional, they're manufacturing a reality where health is a reward for compliance and it's not a human right.
You see who we got in the background, Cams?
I do. I do.
I don't know if he's ready to join us. Can you hear us, sir? No. Yeah. I don't know if he can see us or hear us. Is he frozen for you too?
He's frozen for me.
Okay. He's frozen for me too.
But
I listen. We knew this was coming when they did the same thing with Snap, and your president told you we can't pay for none of these things. We can't pay for none of this.
we
Only
can't
thing we
pay
got
for
money for
shit,
is
but we need $1.5 trillion for the
yeah.
Department of War. You will pay taxes, you will receive nothing back, and you will like it. They said the beatings and the financial oppression will continue until morale improves. That's what they said. We're gonna continue to give you motherfuckers nothing,
Nothing.
fist and
Don't
boot.
look for nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Don't think. Listen, you gonna get nothing and you gonna like it. Fuck you and fuck your life.
I'm seriously looking at just leaving at this point because I was like, Trump is not. He's not like the root cause. He's just a symptom.
I mean, let's be clear. If the thing that we want to happen actually happen, we have fucking JD Vance. That bitch can't even commit on his fucking name, which he's changed 3 times.
He also fucks couches.
Well, then there's that. I mean, only people who we like that fuck couches is the guy from Big Mouth. That's it. What's his name? Jay from Big Mouth. He kind of fucks couches too,
I
doesn't
didn't
he?
know you watched Big Mouth. So
I
that's why.
do. That's probably the only reason. Between Big Mouth and Human Resources are probably the only reason I really have Netflix.
I have it because it comes with my phone plan.
I think I get it free with my
But you know how I know the economy's bad? Netflix is walking back that whole sharing the login ban because motherfuckers just canceling streaming services. That's how you know the economy is getting bad because Americans are not investing in entertainment. We just got to stop buying shit. The whole economy gonna be fucked up. We just got to stop buying shit.
I get I know I get Peacock free with my I have Xfinity for my phone
I
service.
also get Peacock with
We
Xfinity.
get Peacock. I mean, we get Netflix too.
No, I get Peacock because
I know I get
they
Peacock
gave me the
through
little streaming
Xfinity.
box. I
Are
watch.
you ready, sir? Because you on mute. You're not freezing now.
Ain't shit on Peacock. I just want to throw that shit out there.
We can hear
Yeah.
you. We want to let you to get yourself in order. You ready to talk to the people? We on prime time today. We on the big stage today. Oh, you come up on the big stage every day. I forgot you are, a correspondent. Hi, sir.
What's
Hello,
going on,
hello.
gentlemen? How y'all doing?
I'm trying not to spike out. That young man over there is doing a lot of spiking out. I'm doing everything I can to stay copacetic.
Well, you
Ronald,
go
we
right,
already talked about that. Talking
go
about we're
right
gonna bring
on.
manufacturing back. Let's use this imported steel though.
Right.
Yeah, we
That was the
already
wild
talked about
part.
that.
That's the wild part. It's again just like last week or just like earlier this week. The senior what the actual fuck correspondent showed all the way up and was sitting here like, wait a minute, America first with imported steel. Hey, it, did I is this a joke?
America
What the
first,
fuck?
but we're cutting the social safety net even more.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hello.
Here we are.
The I think the craziest thing for me is watching people who depend on these social safety nets vote against their own interest.
Because
That's
they
the
were told
crazy
it was
part for
for
me.
because they were told we're gonna remove the blacks. It's the black, the blacks.
Yeah,
We're just
and
gonna take them off.
but the thing
Mhm.
is that most people with a brain know that we can't make up the most of anything in this country because we aren't the most of
Most
anything in
people
this
don't know
country.
that. You're expecting people to know common fourth grade math.
These people are
Most people do not know that.
these people are dumb. They've written multiple books about it. I recommend anyone that's interested in politics reads "What's the Matter with Kansas." Okay, I feel like everybody needs to read that.
So many things.
Like, and but it literally describes how people vote against their own economic self interest all the time. And I don't think that the tribalism of politics, because they act like this shit a football game.
They
Football game,
do.
there's no outcome really. Oh, we didn't win this, we didn't get in the playoffs, we didn't win the Super Bowl. Okay, maybe there's next season. But when you're losing critical protections, you're not going to get that shit back. Not without a
You're
lot of political investment and a very long fight. So when these
exactly.
people just like they just be losing shit, just losing shit, I'm just like the cost of racism is entirely too much, but these white people refuse to learn from history.
I know I saw a video the other day, serious video, not a parody, it's a serious video. And there was a black young lady talking to another black man that was interviewing her. And she literally said out of her mouth, I don't understand why we're a minority when the majority of the people that I live around and that I talk to and I see all the time are black. So we must be the majority. So why we're always putting ourselves down and calling ourselves a minority. And I just turned my phone off. I said, I'm not doing that. I said, this is these are the children that Whitney Houston told y'all were our future.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what my mother-in-law would say to that young lady right now. Bless your heart.
I
Bless
think
your
she
heart.
beyond bless her heart.
She would
I
tell her,
think she
bless her
maybe
heart.
even beyond that.
It would probably be beyond that, but bless your heart is absolutely coming out of my mother-in-law because it's like, okay, I'm not gonna immediately jump to think that you're the idiot you're presenting yourself to be. I'm gonna give you opportunity to prove me that you're not the idiot that you're presenting yourself to be. And then after they prove themselves to be the idiot they present themselves to be, then comes the other stuff.
I keep telling y'all that the shit is going to have to get much worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, I think. Listen, and Terrence, you are our proverbial senior heterosexual male correspondent on
Absolutely.
the panel. He's claiming that with pride. Um, um, but I think as a country, we're gonna have to proverbially bite the fucking pillow and take it as it gets rammed in. Go straight Bohica. We're going straight Bohica. You're gonna have
it,
to
it,
bite down on the fucking pillow because bend over. Here it comes again. Hashtag Bohica. And it's not coming with lube. It's not coming with any amount of gentleness. You ain't getting a reach around. You ain't getting a kiss on the back of the neck. Baby, it's coming.
Let's put it like this: the United States of America is going to witness and have to deal with something that people like veterans like Kamz and myself have had to deal with for a long time. I don't know what you guys called it, Kamz, but for the Marine Corps, we called it the big green weenie. We knew we were going to get fucked. There's nothing we can do about it. It was just a matter of how hard and for how long.
And there's that.
I mean, the big saying in the army was "embrace the suck" because it's gonna happen regardless.
Basically, yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. Um Terrence, we're at the tail end of this. You have anything you wanted to ruminate on or ponder on, or you wanted to
It,
give credence to, give it sound?
so we talked. You guys talked about something that really stuck. It stays sticking with me, and it's the erosion of the social safety nets in the United States while sending that money, that exact same money that could be used to offer these exact same programs here in the United States. We send all of that money straight to Israel, right? And then with these defense contracts that we have with them, the reason that we have these defense contracts with them and the reason that we give them so much money for their defense and for them to purchase weapons is because that money turns right back around and gets used right here in the United States to fund whatever they wanted to buy. So like this like for the F-15EX, those are about 120, those are about 100 million a copy, right? We're subsidizing that. We're subsidizing their purchase of that. So again, where are our tax dollars really going? And why are people not more angry about this? Not even incest or anything else. You should be absolutely angry about this. You can't afford to go to the store and buy groceries for a family of three for $100 anymore. You just can't, right? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, or meanwhile over in the Middle East and Israel, they've got clean food, they've got free school, they've got heavily subsidized, if not free, healthcare. All of the things that we are fighting as a country to keep out of this country because it's socialism, we are actively funding in Israel and other countries around the world. Other things that I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys talked about this. We talked about how did we talk about how JD Vance is palling around with Viktor Orban in
We did
Hungary?
not talk about the fact that we are influencing elections of other countries to keep authoritarian dictators in power, people who are
Hmm.
hell bent on the diminution of anything democracy. That's Viktor Orban.
Yep. But the
Who
other thing
Meanwhile,
is
no, no,
this.
Vladimir
no.
Putin's
Uh,
bitch, by the way, which is why the EU is not sharing.
you took the words right out of my mouth. We're doing nothing but helping Vladimir Putin.
Hmm.
We are ceremoniously taking it, one in the ass and one in the mouth, each hole from Putin and Netanyahu. It's going in both sides. Meanwhile, even during birth and conception, you learn. Now, I probably shouldn't say this, but you learn when you learn human embryology, wherever the sperm enters the egg ends up becoming the mouth, and the opposite side becomes the anus of the person. And so everybody has taken it in the mouth, and everybody swallowed at some point. But we ain't even at the point where we just taking it in one hole at this point. We're taking it up both holes for authoritarian dictators. And
So just Eiffel
and
Tower? We're just getting Eiffel Tower? That's what's going on?
that's
It's
basically what's
basically a
going on.
wobbly. It basically either wobbly
But
H or Eiffel Tower.
now I have some very international foreign affairs savvy people here, and I've been really paying very close attention to North Korea
Bruh.
and the fact that South Korea is on the verge of collapse because they have no oil. North Korea, Kim Jong Un, I've been reading a lot of writings of a lot of international foreign affairs conspiracy theory people, but the fact that we just learned that this man has a daughter, actually has daughters,
Hmm.
and we just now seen said daughter for the first time since she's been alive, and he paraded her around on a tank that she was able to control on her own. A lot of people are speculating that Kim Jong and he stopped testing his own warheads and ballistic missiles and stuff just a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
And, oh, and we also forgot to mention the fact that we're concentrating so much on Iran, and Lebanon. Gaza has never stopped getting bombed.
Hmm.
They have not stopped.
But
They
I
just,
thought that this was the president of peace. No new wars.
President
America
piece of
first.
shit.
If you
President
vote
piece
for
of
Harris,
shit.
you're voting for genocide. What do you mean?
So not
You
only
mean he
that,
lied like he does about everything?
and there's that. But El Teddy, back to what you were saying. The South Korean president just released a statement about a South Korean operation that went completely wrong that had South Korean drones
Drones.
in
Yep.
North Korea, and she apologized for that. And the sister of Kim Jong Un comes out and says, "Sounds like the right people are in charge over there now." More or less, we accept this, and this seems like a move in the right direction. We hope that this won't happen again because next time we might not be so nice about it.
But then also with the situation that's going on in Iran, what we didn't realize is like this is just giving more justification for North Korea to keep their nuclear capabilities.
Hmm. Why
And
would I give it up?
oh, by the way, as of today, they testing their weapons again.
oh, they went back today. They started back up
Today,
today.
as of today, they testing the motherfucking weapons again.
Mm, mm.
So when you
I
stay
can't.
ready, you ain't got to get ready.
I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, like, I can't say I'm surprised because if your track record shows me everything I need to know about you, you didn't go into North Korea because why? Because they had a nuclear weapon and you had confirmation that they had a nuclear weapon. You won't go into, you won't talk shit about Russia because they have multiple nuclear weapons. And you won't do anything about them because they have multiple nuclear weapons.
And that's why
You
they're
don't.
trying to take Ukraine back so they can get more nuclear weapons. Because let's be clear. When that former USSR broke up, a shit ton of that stockpile was in damn Ukraine.
A majority of that stockpile was in Ukraine because, Kamz, I don't know if you know this or El Teddy, Ukraine was the military powerhouse of the USSR. Like all of their major weapon systems were tested and fielded at first in the Ukraine.
Mhm.
Oh, your president is upset, and so is Hegseth that
Can you,
Ukraine
breath? Excuse me?
that Ukraine was down there in Saudi Arabia and in the UAE, helping them, doing contracts with them to get them some drones and some missile contracts and things like that. Because we ain't shit. We have to import ours. The only thing we produce right now that people want are Patriot missiles. That's it. That's all.
Patriot missiles, F-35s, and
I don't even think they want the damn F-35 at the damn bullshit ass kill switch in the cost.
hey, Look, I'm gonna tell you right now why they want that. F-35 is basically, remember, you know how every damn near every country in the world that's not the United States has F-16s and F-15s.
Hmm.
It's the exact same thing. They're gonna mass produce a vehicle that meets a need, and everybody's gonna buy it.
Well, we know South Korea has now become a military powerhouse because they sell
Yep,
missiles all over the place,
yep.
even
And
to us.
the Korean Patriot missile system, their version of our Patriot missile system, is actually doing better in Ukraine than the Patriot missile system. And that's according to weapons experts and reports that at this time, I believe they said something about like a 97% kill rate.
I just want to
So
say that I still hate the F-35 because that shit cost us $1.5 trillion, and in some regards, it's worse than the damn plane that it replaced. But I would say that's due to scope. They tried to
Scott,
make
it
it a
was
jack of all trades, and they should not have done that.
right.
But one point
So
five trillion dollars is a fuck ton of money.
it is, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, especially that program. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Like it's not even so much the new build that's going to cost you the most money with programs like with brand new programs like this. It's the sustainment. It's it's the sustainment, it's the software, it's all of that type of stuff. That's where the lion's share of that $1 trillion is going to go. It's going to go to maintenance and upkeep. Maintenance, upkeep, and upgrades. I believe that's what the open source is saying. And just think about it like this. There's something like 15 plus countries involved with the F-35. It's our portion of it is 1 point something trillion dollars, like Cam's just said. Imagine what that portion would be if we were developing that fighter jet by ourselves.
We did move all of our THAAD missiles out of the South Korea area. So now you basically giving Kim Jong Un open season because you're over there being bothered with Iran is doing all of the heavy lifting for everybody else. Oh, y'all over there being bothered with Iran? Y'all ain't got time? We got time. I'm surprised China hasn't moved on Taiwan yet. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm
They're
surprised.
they're taking
Xi
their time.
Jinping has not moved in on Taiwan yet because I know he's
They're
waiting.
Bro, like
they
when I tell you I don't want to travel internationally this summer, one, due to the insane rising cost of aviation fuel, and two, because of the damn geopolitical instability. The moment we distracted with this Middle East shit, China's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna take this back because it's always been ours.
right
And then that's
because
again, you think we bad now when that global chip shortage happened because TSMC said if we get invaded, we are destroying our fabrication plants. They will not get
hmm
this technology. We will destroy it. So all
and
the
this
electronics that we love and enjoy, there is a serious strategic supply chain risk that we're missing out on because COVID was the wake up call, and Joe Biden tried to do some shit, and that orange motherfucker said, nope, don't want shit associated with that. And
hmm
we essentially just moved the money elsewhere. So we don't have any real domestic manufacturing capacity for any of these electronics, to include what
we
goes
really
through it.
don't.
We don't have it.
We really don't. And we can produce some chips here because we do have some chip capacity,
Yeah, on
but
bullshit nodes though. On bullshit nodes.
we no that very true, very 100% true. But we will never be able to mass produce the way that they do overseas.
We need EUV machines. One company makes those. One company's making the EUV machines,
Let
and
me
they were
guess, that
like,
company's
those
in
are already spoken for like 3 years out.
where's that company located?
It's ASML. They're in the Netherlands. They hold a monopoly on commercializing those systems.
I would also just like to point out that we have tried to pick a fight with every country in the EU to include the
Yeah,
Netherlands.
to
So
include them. Yeah.
I mean, in
Yeah.
like one machine, Terrence, is over $250 million.
Yikes. So what I heard is El Teddy's buying us this machine so we can turn a quick profit.
I ain't got that kind of money. The way my bank account is set up, I am
We got a
real poor.
chicken
I is poor. I ain't even good enough to be poor. I am po p
Oh,
o. I'm a po ho. Even good enough to be poor.
now you a
I,
hoe, but Poe,
I'm
I don't
just
believe that.
saying.
I don't believe that.
Oh shit! Hey, you know what else I meant to bring up the other day?
What you got?
So you know how we got Shahed drones and we created the Lucas drone based off of the Shahed drone, but we beefed it up. We put a bunch more capabilities in it. You know Iran got a couple of them a couple of those Lucas drones, right?
Oh yeah, they got him. They
They took a
absolutely did get
they
him.
got a they the couple that hit the ground, it did not explode. We just basically said, hey, by the way, we saw what you were doing and we liked it so much we upgraded it, but also here's a copy. Wild behavior. You basically upgraded the enemy's.
But this is what happens when you're going and doing these purges. They're trying to consolidate commands because
Hmm.
he feels that they're not loyal enough to him. And from his own mouth, he said, I need generals like Hitler had.
Yeah, he
Pretty
did.
much. And if you remember, Hitler got rid of all of those generals.
They did not.
It
The
did
mission
not
did
end
not.
well.
Yep. If you didn't meet your mission or you just did something that he didn't like or anybody on his political party didn't like, you were gone. And we're seeing the exact same thing. Keg's Breath has gotten rid of an ungodly amount of generals who have the experience that we need for what's happening right now in Ukraine, Iran, and what's about to happen in South Korea or in the Far East area. We've gotten rid of all the people with all of the intelligence to properly manage these situations. He's trying to use uh, a level of a level of leadership that he's not equipped to use, um, called skip echelon, where you have multiple people in charge. When you have one person in charge of multiple tiers of a command, that way it shortens the decision making process. That way we get a decision made quicker. He's doing it, but he's doing it haphazardly, and he has no idea what he's doing with it.
When you have unqualified people that are the dumbest people in the room, there's that insecurity. The insecurity is driving these purges. Because when I was in Afghanistan, I met General Onero. We had like a 10-minute conversation. And one thing I can tell you, regardless of how I felt about the reasons why we were in Afghanistan, that dude was exceptionally intelligent. You don't get to be a 4-star general by being a dumbass. You don't go through all of that training for nothing. Knew
Yeah.
his shit.
Yep. Normally you get kicked out as a major from the DC National Guard if you're an idiot. I s My bad. Did I say the quiet part out loud again? I'm
I mean, we've
sorry.
been saying the quiet part out loud. Like when you remove those black people those from the damn promotion list, like, and I'll say this: I know people that have been a part of promotion boards in the army. It is one of the fairest things I've fucking seen. Like when they tell you how it really happens behind the scenes, they're so fucking fair about it. Because no one gets to that level and they're unqualified. There's something that sets them aside from their peers, and that's why they've been presented. So I don't know what. I don't take the National Guard shit seriously anyway. I'm sorry. Fuck them nasty girls. I said what I said. Fuck them nasty girls. Part time ass. Like,
This is why we can't have nice things.
oh,
you
PRN ass.
you
So
forgot
we ain't got time for that.
you forgot spare tire. You forgot my personal favorite I've heard for National Guard and reservists, tampon.
Wow. Here we are.
I
Here
call them
the fuck
nasty
we
girls.
are.
But
I've
I feel bad for my friends that's over there right now. They field artillery. We call them field artillery guys. I'm sure you can piece that together, what we actually call them. But yeah, they over there saying like, this is stupid, this is dumb.
Wow.
They blowing
Yeah,
up, they blowing up military installations. They putting us in hotels,
yeah,
Just
bruh,
wow.
which is
bruh.
against all sorts of. We
Like,
can't. No,
what
no.
the fuck? Like, how does that even happen? Like, we can't protect you, so we're gonna move you off base into this hotel where we really can't protect you.
Where we just we criticize other countries when they do this because it involves us, then bombing non-military infrastructure. But if we know
Yep.
that y'all in these hotels, you
That
know,
becomes a legal target of opportunity, bro.
the Marriott, the Hilton, the Hyatt, they finna have to put in some insurance claims because they gonna blow that shit up.
They really are, and they've already done it. Like,
Because
bro,
there are
at the
no rules anymore. When you violate these norms that we have about the rules of engagement around war, there are no rules.
war, it's sad to say this, but war used to have some type of quote unquote civility to it, right? But now we're starting to see no quarter orders. We're starting to see double taps on shipwrecks. We're seeing
That
double
was,
taps on
yeah.
girls' schools. We're seeing, we're just seeing things that we know are morally wrong, and everybody's just rolling their eyes and saying, "Boys will be boys." And then you have a Secretary of Defense who is saying we have work our we got to get our troops and our men ready for their next conquest. Their next conquest, my guy, where the fuck are we at? Why are you trying to run the Crusades in a holy war while running the Department of Defense?
It's like we never learned, like from history, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Never. It does not go well.
Sir, you expect for these people to read history books, learn history? These are people who take oaths to protect something that they've never read and have no clue of what is in it. They
Well, I mean,
take
look,
oaths to
when
protect
you
something
raise your
they have
hand,
no idea what's in it.
when you raise your hand, you give that oath. It's against enemies, foreign
Foreign
and
and
domestic.
domestic.
No. I'm talking about.
No, what
I'm not.
I'm saying is
I'm not
that
talking about the military people. I'm
we
talking
we
about.
finna be looking like a lot of these other countries in Africa and Asia, where a military coup is nothing. If you wanna jump stupid, we just gonna take this shit over.
Hmm.
We're gonna take it the fuck over until y'all get some goddamn sense.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, we've seen it happen and we've seen it work twice within the past year.
Can I tell y'all I'm enjoying the meltdown that your president is right now enthralled in. Now he's calling Tucker, Candace, and Alex Jones. He's having a full scale meltdown
Oh
Who
on
is?
Truth.
yeah. Hopefully, one of his full scale
Woo!
meltdowns is what takes him out.
Look,
But then we have JD Vance. That
we
that
finna
that
end up like Thailand. That's what we finna end up like. Cause I swear, it be a coup over there.
You said JD Vance, and it immediately put me in a funk.
It's just like when I see a cyber truck. I was having such a great day, and then here
Right,
they go.
right,
This thing that shouldn't exist because it serves no purpose and has no value. A la JD Vance.
exactly. The thing is, Cams, this car had that the Cybertruck is not legal to drive on the road in most of Europe. Am I correct or am I incorrect on that?
You might be right, but it looked like a fucking 3-year old fucking design that shit.
Listen, listen. It looks like the car I drew in kindergarten, and I'm terrible at drawing.
They are not. They're generally not street legal in Europe. Yeah. Yep.
Why are they not generally street legal in Europe? Because it's too big. It's unsafe. It doesn't pass their safety standards. You've got the upper forward A-frame pillar glued on with glue that doesn't hold. It breaks off and falls apart. The part falls off at high speeds. What?
Look, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. I'm enjoying saying "I told you so." I am getting so much immense pleasure from "I told you so" because we have been screaming this on Run Your Mouth, Red, Blue,
Yep.
and Black, Damn Silly Saturday. We've been saying this for a while, but people don't listen. I told you, pain is the best teacher. They gonna learn.
Exactly.
You're white, but you're not rich, thus you don't fucking matter.
And that's the part that they don't get. It's not us. It's not us versus y'all. It's us versus them motherfuckers.
And like
It's
the
us
tech
versus.
sector, how
Hmm.
they cozied up and they participating in this authoritarianism, it's a bunch of bullshit. It is a bunch of bullshit.
I'm generally optimistic about everything. Everything's great. Everything is going to be perfect. It's just beautiful. Nothing to see here. Beautiful day
Hey,
in the neighborhood.
Now,
hey,
Roddy,
hey,
Beautiful
hey, hey,
gowns.
hey, Cavs, run it back to like the first 30 minutes of the show and show
Beautiful
him hell.
gowns here. Beautiful gowns.
Show El Teddy himself from about 30 minutes ago.
yeah, he was crashing the fuck out.
I was.
But
I crashed
and rightfully
completely out.
and you said that you don't come here to crash out. No, my brother, listen. If the state of affairs in our country right now does not have you crashing out, then either A, you're sleeping, or B, you're part of the problem.
Or you're a psychopath. There's that too.
I mean, yeah, there's that.
I just
Thank
think,
you, the inform for your cash app. Thank you, sir.
thank you, NTT.
That's the informed.
That's the inform. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But Roddy, they do actually have Red 40 in the EU. They just call it Allure Red. I
Can we
argued with
also
somebody else
talk about,
about it.
speaking of things that'll kill you, why is nobody talking about the fact that Israel has been and continues to use white phosphorus, like they're handing out Skittles
I
at
saw that.
like they're handing out Skittles at fucking Halloween. They were using it on the Palestinians in Gaza. They've been using it in the West Bank. They used it and put it on the tips of their missiles that they shot over in Iran back in 2024 and 2025. They're now
Hmm.
using it over in Lebanon. These are have been out. White phosphorus has been outlawed. This shit will burn you all the way down to your fucking bone.
Bone.
Listen, Willie
It
Pete,
burns to the
white
bone, burns all the way through your flesh to the bone.
white phosphorus. And hold on real quick. Thank you, the inform for the cash app. But the white phosphorus, Willie Pete, is what we use to destroy those aircraft that we couldn't fly out of there because the nose gears were stuck in the
Yep.
soft, wet dirt. But that's what white phosphorus does. Did y'all see how the aircraft was completely melted out in certain places? What they do is they take those white phosphorus grenades, they shove them in certain parts of the aircraft, and they walk away. White phosphorus is it will burn through everything,
They're using that on civilians.
which
On
is
civilians.
a
Because
fucking
they
war
don't view
crime.
them as human, El Teddy. Like they don't view these people as human.
The crazy part is when Assad used this exact same stuff in Syria,
Oh my God.
Israel and the United States came unglued. They came complete. The world came unglued when this was used by Assad in Syria. But we get to Israel and everybody's like, I mean,
Nothing to see here.
we don't like those people and they might have deserved it anyway. So,
Well, it's because like the Holocaust happened to them, so they just get a
oh
pass on everything. I'm gonna
yeah,
say it.
can
I'm
we?
gonna say
No,
it.
no. I'm glad you said it. Can we talk
I'm gonna
about?
say it because like we can't just use the Holocaust. It was a horrific thing that happened to not only Jewish people, the Romani people, gay people. So like everybody that was othered was systematically like experimented, tortured on, or otherwise killed,
Hmm.
right? But we can't use that to now you went from being the oppressed to now being an oppressor on stolen land, because they didn't have any right to just give you fucking land. They had no
They
right to
really
do that
didn't.
shit.
They really
It's been
didn't.
an illegal occupation since the founding of your nation. But like you are the oppressor.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how the United States sees what Israel is doing and is afraid that black people and minorities in this country are going to do the exact same thing to the United States.
I'm
They
not
are
saying that I
afraid. They are terrified out of
what
their
did that lady
skin.
what did that lady say or that man say on CNN? I don't condone it, but I understand it.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
condone it, but I understand it.
I overstand it. And at the same time, it's like,
But that's why they're doing all of this shit to make sure that they can maintain power because once they got that report that by 2050 this would be a majority Hispanic Latino country, they're like, "Oh wait, we're going to be in a minority like black people? Oh, they're going to do all the things that we did to black people?" No, because we not really
We
like
not y'all.
y'all. We want to be
We
left.
not y'all.
We want to be left the fuck alone. And when we were being left to our own devices, y'all got jealous. Y'all was lynching us. Y'all was tearing our shit down, burning it. Or when we did fucking reasonably well, you ran the fucking interstate through our goddamn neighborhoods. You
Or
yep,
burned
never
it to the
wanted us
ground.
to have shit.
Or burned
yeah,
it to the ground. Or bombed it. Or put it underneath a lake.
yep. And Roddy, yeah, they burned up $700 million worth of aircraft because they failed to do a fucking site survey. By the way, Roddy, there's a specialized team in the United States Special Operations community that does that. There's a whole community that does site survey for special operations, and they failed.
Won't be the first fail.
Won't be the last one either.
Mm.
And many times I've been on fucking posts and they lock shit down because somebody lost something. Why you
You
locking it down? They already took the shit. It's already gone. Like why are we here?
like right? It's like when we found out a bunch of drones came up missing from. Hold on, a bunch of drones allegedly came up missing from.
In
Uh,
California.
yeah, from a storage facility. Them drones did not accidentally come up missing. You can't get in or out of a secure site on a military base without being seen by at least 3 to 5 cameras and at least 2 to 5 people.
I mean, there was also the drones that were stolen from Fort Campbell.
I think those are the ones I meant. Those are the ones I'm talking about. I didn't even know about the drones that you just told me about, Teddy. But the like you can't do that. That's physically impossible.
All dude, the fact that to get the CCI items, it took two fucking people to even open the damn facility. It was dual control. You mean to
Yep.
tell me that these damn AI powered fucking reconnaissance drones were stolen? No, you want to create something so that you could just be like, we not gonna do no.
No, Iran already put statements out. Hey, we have nothing that can reach you, America. So if shit happens over there, it ain't on us. That's your own people bombing y'all. They've already put those statements out there. I've
Now
already
they
seen
can't
them.
reach us, but you know who could? The motherfuckers they not fucking with.
Uh huh.
They leave North Korea the fuck alone.
They're leaving North Korea, China, and Russia the fuck alone. And yeah, Samara, no, they still haven't found those drones yet. They still don't know what happened to them, or if they know, they ain't told us yet.
They don't care about us. But Michael Jackson told us that 30 plus years ago.
Hmm. All I gotta
35
say
years
is
ago,
that
to be exact.
How much are these damn drones any damn way?
the military paid for them, so
Oh, overpaid like a motherfucker. Overpaid.
if it's literally a $50,000 drone, they paid about 150, maybe 175 for
Just stupid.
it.
Just dumb. Y'all, we gotta. Well, we'll talk backstage because we gotta figure out next week, huh? I gotta figure my life out. Um, oh, we've been on here almost 3 hours, and I had expected to be. I saw that Really B was not live, so I felt that I was safe going over. But I did not know that we were going to be here for 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Well, here we are.
And yet here we are. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. I've done some other things for almost 3 hours, and it's been just as delectable.
This whore.
And it's been just as good. I hope y'all enjoy. Put a Shondo in the chat if y'all enjoyed us having red, blue, and black during our prime time hour, during run your mouth times, instead of doing our regular 8:30 Eastern time slot. But what that means is that means that you need to make sure that you are here and for our regular 8:30 Thursday at 8:30 time slot, and that you have your face in the place. Even though we have quite a good time on Run Your Mouth, maybe I'll bring the gentleman up to talk to me on Run Your Mouth. I'll be over there on Run Your Mouth, running my mouth about a lot of stuff, and maybe it'll keep me from spiking out as much as I do on Run Your Mouth.
It won't.
Hey, Harold, it don't bother me.
I'm a realist. I'm a realist. It won't. It won't stop you. You gonna crash out. You gonna crash out, and that's okay.
And it's okay. It's perfect. I mean, therapists and psychologists say crashing out is actually healthy for you.
Yeah, because when you bottle it up, eventually the vessel breaks, and it's gonna be an even worse crash out. Because
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
you might end up, committed like I was. You don't want to be that high jacket in that padded room now. Go on,
They
crash
got you
out.
too.
Oh, bro, when I came back from deployment, yeah, they got my ass.
Oh no,
They got-
it took them. It took them a while to get me. They ain't get me until years later.
what
Years
did I
later.
say? I'll shoot all you motherfuckers in here. Next thing I know, drooling out of the mouth. Yup, they got me.
Mm, mm, mm.
Hey man, sometimes shit happens.
I get it now though. I do get it.
Let me give you gentlemen some last words. Terrence, you have any last words for the people? Anything you want to talk to the people, tell the people?
Just be safe out here in these streets. It's getting progressively worse and worse, and we are progressively seeing less and less of it in on being reported. So just be mindful, be safe, and most importantly, don't give nobody who don't have your best interest for you any place in your life. Life is stressful enough right now.
Cut them folks off. Even if they're your family, cut them folks off.
Um, that's all you have to say, Cam. Just cut the folks off. What do you
Uh,
have to say? What are your last words, sir?
shit, we talked about so much. Goddamn.
We did. We did.
Um. Okay, so I say this because I really want to talk about late stage capitalism. Although we talked about a lot of stuff from the Gutting of the 15th, amendment to how they trying to roll back the Voting Rights Act, SAMO, the automatic, registration for, these young bodies to fight these eternal wars. I think the state is really trying to engineer our submission, but we also need to be concerned about this era of late stage capitalism. The system has stopped building and it started extracting. Your vote is a threat. Your health is a commodity, and your children are going to be inventory for a global military machine. But we got to remember, hey, this manufacturing compliance shit, it only works if we agree to it. The state's reliance on FBI raids, federal purges, administrative hurdles proves that it is terrified of your friction, of your resistance. So every time you speak the truth and refuse to be exhausted by the endless mazes that they try to put us through, you disrupt the machine. So if we don't demand transparency, we lose our voice in this narrative. They want us to be compliant, but I think we need to stay defiant. They want us tired. We need to stay vigilant. The record only becomes official if we stop telling the truth. So I think that we just need to stay grounded, stay prayed up, and just continue to educate ourselves because education that is going to get us out of this shit.
Y'all know I'm here for y'all. I really am. I have committed myself, and some of y'all been here long enough. I want to say it might have been 20. It was 2024. I vividly remember it was the start of 2024 when I said that I was going to shift. Because if y'all remember, we used to do the politics of it all. And it was like
You
a
did.
maybe 2 or 3 times a month I would do the politics of it all. It maybe twice, and then it started becoming more frequent where it was too much shit going on, and it started to become once a week. And I remember having a conversation with Really B before I shifted, and it was going into 2024. I said, Really B, this shit is getting out of order, and I feel compelled to just shift the trajectory of the platform come hell or high water and don't give a shit how people feel. And since then, we have been committed to making sure, not knowing that we would have the full diminution of journalism in this country, but just to make sure that we keep you informed. Y'all know this is what we do on a daily basis. We try to keep you all informed. We try to make sure that we can cut through the fog and smog and get you some substantive information that you can use and that you can get to your family, because everybody's not going to watch this. Everybody may not be able to sit through it, but the fact that you all can, it's now empowering you to go and let your community know what's happening and keeping them informed. Just like we can keep you informed and give you our commentary and help you and give you a place to start where you can start to try to break this stuff down and really digest this stuff. You then become the conduit for your community of people where they can now be informed and things like that. Now, we'd love for you to invite them here and let them subscribe and enjoy the commentary like you, but this onus is still on you always to go and make sure that you protect your village by keeping them informed of what's going on. So we are Kamz and I were just talking before we came on about how excited we were to do Red, Blue, and Black. And so I hope you thoroughly enjoyed today. Tomorrow we'll be back. Actually, tomorrow really be um, uh, um, and I we're probably going to switch. I think really be and I will probably switch. She'll go during my regular 5 o'clock time. I'm going to go during her time, and we're going to do a review. We're going to do the panel. Me, her, and Abby will do the panel tomorrow for chasing. We'll do the panel for chasing Atlanta. We will have silly Saturday on Saturday. Because I got some
Yeah.
politics I want to talk on the Sugar Spike segment on Silly Saturday. So we will have Silly Saturday this week on a Saturday. And next week we'll have Run Your Mouth, all things politics, like we always do. As I always say, I love y'all all the time. I was about to say what I always say, but this is not Run Your Mouth because I'm used to Run Your Mouth. But what we say on Red, Blue, and Black is whether or not the country is blue or red, we will always be black. And we welcome you here at Red, Blue, and Black. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll catch you next time. Thank y'all for coming, y'all.